Hey guys, what's up? This is it. Last of the live streams. The title says it all, as it says in the summary of the title, which said... I can't remember what the title says. I just wrote it like 45 minutes ago. It was one of those nights. It was one of those nights. So, yeah, might as well just get right into it. This is the last one. I finished my collecting in-game. I think I talked about that the last time I did a live stream, but maybe that happened after the last time I did a live stream. Everything's kind of blending together. Past couple weeks have been a blur. I did 2 weeks of vacation off of everything work-related, that included the live stream. For those who missed it, there's actually a video on the channel showcasing the final 3 collectibles in the collecting in game. The Psylocke premium format figure. The, oh god, what else was there? The Dewback. 6-scale Dewback. And I substituted, because it's just impossible to find one in good shape, for the Dark Rider of Mordor statue, I substituted this guy, who I just can't bring to... I can't let him leave my side when I'm sitting at the desk. He's just too magnificent. Am I right? Look at this. Ah, yeah. Always regretted leaving that one, or selling that one off. So yeah. It's back. It's exclusive this time, not collector's edition. And it's gorgeous. And it's not going anywhere. Something else that happened in the past few weeks while that was all going on, after I won the auction for this Tusken Raider, I was like, oh god, this is the end. I've got so many other things that I wanted though. And so I just did a mad buy of so many things. Just told myself, gotta get this here before that Tusken ships. Or get it ordered before the Tusken ships. And so I've got a whole lot of stuff here. But I'm not gonna do the live stream. I'm gonna stick to my plan. It was a good plan. It's a reasonable plan. It's probably the most rational plan I put together in recent memory. And that plan is, of course, I can't keep spending that kind of money on these collectibles forever. For one thing, I'm running out of space. For another thing, I'm running out of money. And I'm running out of time. More importantly, I'm running out of time. Not getting any younger, and I've got to retire at some point. And hopefully I'll have some money in my bank when I do that. So that's it. Yeah. Not even sure what else to say. Let's talk about last night. Last night was the what do they call it? A reception for my photo exhibit that happened at my alma mater, Webster University in Webster Groves, Missouri, just about 30 minutes from where I live. It was ridiculous, and I'm waiting on people like Bad Wolf Media. I actually had a camera around my neck, and I meant to take as many photos as I could, but my attention was being pulled in so many different directions. A few of the channel members here, subscribers, what have you, actually showed up. Bad Wolf Media was there, for instance. Keith and Allie Lee were there. I think that was it. And if there were any more channel members there, then they didn't identify themselves as such. There were a few people that said that they were going to be there that I never saw, so either they walked right by me and I didn't recognize them because I hadn't seen them in so long, or I don't know. That's probably about the only reason that I can think of. Yeah, that I just didn't recognize them, and they just kept going. Steve, I totally believe that you would have been here if you could have, man. Thank you so much. That brings up another thing. I just want to say, since this is the final live stream, I'm just going to say I just want to tell you guys how much fun that I've had doing this. For the most part, there were days where I was just like, why am I doing this? But by and large, I was like, yeah, this is a blast. Yeah, you guys have been super cool. I've very rarely had any caustic people in the comment sections. I feel like that's a rarity, and even more rare. When I say comments, I do mean the chats. But even more rare than that is the lack of negative comments in the comment section, in the videos that remained up, in the live streams that remained up. So I'm really gratified by the fact that my channel attracted such a positive group of people. And that meant the world to me. I mean, there were days that I tried really, really hard to piss somebody off, to actually try to get somebody to speak up and just be their nasty ass selves. And it never materialized, almost never materialized. And even the ones who disagreed with me did so with, like, they were gentle and respectful, and it was just a nice discourse. So yeah, I mean, I've always said you can tell a lot about a person by the quality of the company they keep. And if you guys are an indication to that, then I feel pretty good about myself as a person. So thank you for hanging out with me for the past several years. You guys helped get me through some really tough times with the between COVID, which I want to say was right around COVID time that this whole experiment began, and through the initial years of my divorce that were just awful for me psychologically. And I don't know that I would have been able to. I don't know if I would have been able to get through it without being able to hang out with you guys a little bit. I mean, that's kind of dramatic. I mean, obviously I would have gotten through it, but it would have been a lot less enjoyable. Yeah, let's put it that way. So let me just run through these comments really quick. Live stream comments show up on stream. Thank you, StreamYard, for letting me know that. This Bitter Tool, sad that it is over, but happy that it all. Happy that it happened at all. Oh yeah, you are the first commenter. That's so unusual. Thanks, Batwolf. Back to this. But happy to have it all. I've enjoyed this channel and the friends I've made along the way. Yeah, man. It illustrates one of the hardest things about this decision for me was I recognize that I'm taking away an avenue for all of you to communicate with each other. I can see it in the comments how much fun that you guys have interacting and catching up with each other in the comments, and I kind of I don't want to say I'm mad at myself because this had to happen, but I really didn't want to have to do that. But in the end, I just really had to think about myself. I have to look after myself. So that's really what this is all about. Battle of Media says, nice hat. He's being coy, but he saw me wearing it all night last night. I legitimately bought this hat for the show. It's like the other hat, it is a Stetson Open Road. This is the 160th anniversary edition of the Stetson Open Road. They also have it in a, what do they call it? A silver belly, which is the silver belly is the name for like the not quite white hats. They're kind of like a silver, off-white, almost cream color. And the reason they get that name and the reason that they're so expensive is because they come from the belly fur of a beaver pelt, which there's not that much of it. A beaver's belly is white, silver, what do you want to call it? And so that's where they get that fur. But yeah, it ships with an open crown, so it's like it almost looks like a hat that an Orthodox Jewish gentleman would wear, and you have to crease it yourself. So this is my first ever attempt at doing a cattleman's crease. There we go. Did you get all that? It's not perfect, but it'll do. Shadow Wolf Media. There's a character that I haven't seen in a long time and whose name has gone through many changes. Yes, I remember you, Shadow Wolf Media. I will miss seeing you here. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, I hope not. I sincerely hope not. And beyond that, I just find it unlikely, but thank you. Thank you. Oh, hey, what's up, dude? How's your channel doing? I'm sorry, I regret to admit that I haven't been paying attention to any Collectibles channels in the past several months. And no, it's not a joke, man. I've done this long enough. It was a fun little thing it was a fun hobby, it was a fun experiment, it was a fun pastime for a lot of years, but I'm reclaiming my weekends. Doing one of these live streams takes up the entire 25% of my entire weekend, and I want to get that back. I want to get back on my bicycle and take long bike rides. And the amount of time that it takes me to do one of these, I could legitimately do like, I don't know, 50-mile, 60-mile bike ride, or I could have at one time. I'm no longer in that kind of shape. So, but still, and just other things. This house needs cleaning up right now, and I'm doing this instead. And this was a thing that was happening every weekend. There were things that I needed to do that I was putting off. So. Yeah, sorry to go, but yeah. Y'all still have Paul. Hang out with him for a little while. TK, you do your own live streams. Just do it. If you build it, they will come. Laser Cat is a member for 27 months. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. This reminds me that I need to go into YouTube and cancel the whole membership thing so that people aren't shelling out money to a channel that no longer really functions as a channel. Oh, what's this? I got a super chat? Luis, bless your heart, man. Thank you so much. I don't know how to bring it up without scrolling down to it, so I guess I'm just going to have to scroll down to it. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, you'll still have stuff from me. I'm still going to be doing all the work I do for Sideshow. I'm not quitting Sideshow. I love the job that I do there. In fact, a part of the reason that I'm doing this is so that I can have more bandwidth for what I do for Sideshow. The amount of work that they're wanting me to do now is ramping up. And I just can't imagine anymore doing this for fun and doing it for a job. I'm lucky enough to be able to do it for a job, and I would rather take the fun part and shift it over to the work part so that I don't get overburdened and so that I don't get stressed out, burnt out, even more importantly. I just took a last-minute 2-week vacation for that very reason. I felt it happening. So that kind of contributed to the whole thing as well. So thanks for bearing with my long-winded explanations about this. But, wow. Thank you, dude. Let me scroll back up here so I can catch all these comments before I move along. Yeah, that's where we were. Lasercat left me a good marker with that 27-month banner there. Thank you. Yeah, Luis says hello to everybody as he always does, man. You are a big-hearted dude, man, and it comes across in your enthusiasm for everybody who's here every time that you show up. Yeah, it's always been a pleasure having you here. It totally amps up the fun factor of the show. Speaking of which, hey, Bitter Troll. Again. Yeah, yeah, you've been an absolute blast, dude. Your off-color sense of humor, I've really, really enjoyed. Saying the things that I didn't want to say, or that I wanted to say but didn't dare sometimes. Yeah, that's been a lot of fun too. Yes. No need. It's not gonna be that bad, dude. That's case in point. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. All right, I'm getting a chant. Very cool. Laura Keeles is here, man. Yeah. Yeah, Laura Keeles is one that I really kind of hope to meet someday and hang out with. Both she and her husband would be. I think we'd have a lot of fun. Really gonna miss hearing the updates on your kitties. I hope that I hope they continue to live long and happy lives until they run out of time, as we all must. Laser Cat once again got over to the end. Yeah, thanks for tuning in for that. See all this. Yeah, Mandy Burton is here. Yes, Mandy, it is true. It is true. This is it. I'm done. And I'll show you a few things. We'll get back to the show here in a little bit, and then I've got a little final demo, final unboxing. Let's just say before I call it quits. By the way, thank you so much for your enthusiastic comments regarding my photos. The last minute photos that I did for the show. I legitimately did 3 of them in a day. Within 24 hours. I did 3 of those images. Might as well bring them up. They're all right here. One is the, let's see if I can get it to come up. No. Try that. It's not working. There we go. I am a technological master. Not really. Yeah, so since I finally got the do back, I figured I might as well go ahead and do a photograph of it before I, put all that stuff away, put all that stuff to bed. Yeah, pretty happy with how that turned out. I was lamenting to the gallery manager last night about these images, or somebody, that I completely neglected to get behind the scene shots for any of these. I was in such a rush that I just didn't take the time to do any of it. But it's not that dramatic. The dewback and the Sand Trooper Sergeant are on the regular shooting table, and I've got this little side table that I always use for the live streams in front of that, and lowered a little bit with the Sand Trooper squad leader standing on that. And it just kind of gives the impression that the dewback is up on a dune, and the Sand Trooper Sergeant is slightly further down on that dune. So yeah, really happy with how that turned out. Every single one of these images that I'm about to show you features the son or sons of Tatooine in the background, creating lens flare effects and just, in all other ways, kind of hiding the imperfections of the images. That's how I cheat. Yeah, so here's the next one. This is the second attempt at this. The first attempt, I had it from a slightly different angle, and I didn't like the separation that was happening. It's kind of too flat for the camera. I wanted to imply a little bit more action and motion than what I was getting. And, oh gosh. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So this worked out better. I should have loaded the other one so I could show the before and after. But I really do like the direction that this one provides because they're coming closer to the camera. I just had a lot of fun with this. Now, these are legitimately just pulled off the shelf. All of these are displayed this way on the shelves in my collection. I just pulled them off and created some new stuff, if you will, with them. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The rocks in the foreground and background, they're so close together, but I used the motion blur filter in Photoshop to kind of create the illusion that they weren't. Because anything that's in, when you're panning a camera to track a moving object, then the blur that's going to result in the foreground is going to be much more intense than the blur of the stuff in the background. So that was by design. I actually legitimately had to make that effect happen in order to create that illusion of greater distance for the rock that's on the right. So yeah, that was a blast. I really enjoyed. There was a final image that I did. That was the last one that I did for this set. And the final one is the one that which is actually the first one. It's the one I'm most happy with. Is the Mandalorian on the swoop bike with Grogu. And this is the most recent. This is the Chrome Mando version, obviously on the swoop bike with Grogu riding shotgun. I considered adding the elements of Boba Fett's costume to the back of it and everything, but it just seemed like too much work. As it is, I just yanked it off the shelf again and dropped it on the table. Created some motion blur in the sand to create that illusion of movement. And yeah, I think that was really just a big part of the experiment, was playing with ways to make it look less like the swoop bike was just hanging there. Just create that illusion of motion. And all these went up onto a big 55-inch TV screen, 65-inch TV screen, something like that, at the gallery exhibit last night, just to showcase what I've done since the retrospective that was being showcased there. Anyway, so that's that. Let's go back to this. Where were we with the comments? Mandy Moore. Mandy Burton, that's it. Mandy Moore. Mandy Moore, are you here? Sound off. Dude, I kissed that sand person so many times. My DNA is all over it. No. No. No, show's done, dude. I mean, there are... I mean, I never say anything is definite, but I feel really strongly about doing this. If you go back and watch the two most recent live streams and pay close attention, I think you'll probably notice that I'm kind of checked out. Yeah, I'm done. I'm ready for a break from this at the very least. But I really can't imagine. Here in my brain, I recognize that it's time, and I think that part of the reason why I chose the Dark Rider of Mordor as one of my final pieces is because I didn't want to quit. Because by choosing something that's that expensive and that hard to find, it makes it more difficult for you to track it down. So in reality, that decision kind of made the whole process, made the whole experiment a bit disingenuous. Because there was just no way that I was ever going to... It was impossible for me to find a piece that would have satisfied my collecting needs. To the extent that I just decided, you know what, you're cheating. You're being dishonest. So you need to make that shift and bring back something that's attainable. And the Tusken Raider exclusive goes for a lot of money. But this one I got for super cheap because the guy forgot to mention in the description that it was the exclusive version. So I got this for less than retail. Blew my mind. Blew my mind. Totally content. I was like, okay, it's a sign. Infographic Tony bringing it from down under. Thanks, man. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a long time. I've been thinking about it since I started the whole collecting in-game fiasco, and I'm kind of relieved. I'm kind of relieved. I won't say that it had gotten so bad that I was looking at the idea of doing every live stream with dread when my feet hit the floor, but my mind wasn't always on the live stream. It was on the other things that I should be doing, and that's a clear sign that you need to move on. If you're not having a good time, why are you doing it? You know, if it's stressing you out, why are you doing it? This hat needs some breaking in. It's my size, but for some reason it fits tighter than the other hats do. I don't know. I would probably have sent it back to, I probably would have sent it back to Stetson, but I had FOMO big and bad with this hat. I really, really wanted it. It's super soft felt, man. I've never felt this soft. Oh, Meg Gomez is here. What's up, dude? Yeah, I'll miss you, man. Yeah. Yeah, you and Iris have both been a treat. I mean, yeah. So, it'd be really nice if all of us could meet up at some point. But I also don't see myself going to any Comic-Cons any soon. And we're back up to where we were. Cool. Hey, Steve. Jargon's here. What's up, dude? Lane Kramer, to all those who know him well. Chris Kaz as well. Welcome aboard. Thank you, man. Thanks. Much appreciated, Mandy. So grateful to have everybody here. Yeah, again, you guys have been so great. And, yeah, part of me will miss it, but I will not lament the time that doing this puts back in my life. If it wasn't on 10-hour days, I would... Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, again, as I predicted when I talked to you in Messenger, man, I remember trying to discourage you from coming, not because I didn't want to see you, but I just wanted you to be aware. I think I'm going to get pulled in a million different directions that night, and I was so right. I was so on point with that. Yeah, nothing. It was I had very little time to talk to anybody. If I tried to talk to anybody for too long, there was somebody who wasn't having any of it, and they came up and interrupted, which is fine. That's how it's supposed to be. Everybody needs to have some face time with the exhibiting artist, and I'm no exception. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, man, it's yeah, it's retirement is currently further away than I'd like it to be, and I want to take steps to change that. I'm just finding out how much money I could be making if I wasn't spending money. It's kind of remarkable. Yeah, there's going to be... I'm going back into the exhibit. It's still up for another 11 days at Webster. So if anybody happens to be in St. Louis and wants to check it out, it's still going to be there. But I'm going to go in sometime, maybe this weekend, maybe over during late night when nobody's there. I've borrowed a gimbal from a friend of mine here in town, and I'm going to just go ahead and get some high-quality footage of it. And that will probably be the final video that I put up on this channel before I just call it a day. The channel's not going to be shut down. The channel will stay here. All the videos will be accessible. They'll still be monetized for all the good it freaking does. I mean, YouTube just makes sure that you can't make any money off of it these days. Which reminds me, no more super chats unless we can get super chats over $100 because I just got a payout and I'm not making a lot of it. Takes like, I don't know, 6 months for me to get enough money built up in that bank, in that YouTube bank, for them to make a payout. The minimum is $100, and right now I think it's like 15, maybe it's like 50 where we're at with those two super chats that came in. So it's going to be a long time before that money clears, before I see that money. As much as I appreciate the thought, yeah, it's unless we can get it over $100, which maybe I'll just give myself $100. Nah, that'd be silly. No. That'd be silly. Then they'd tax it and eBay would take a cut. Nah. Yeah, that's it. I mean, just look at it that way. If it's not like I'm going anywhere, I'm just, everything's evolving, and I'm condensing into, you know, all my collectible experience will now be through Sideshow. And that's more than sufficient, trust me. Trust me. Hey, Mitchell, what's up, dude? Yeah. Michael Flowers here, what's up, dude? Oh, thanks, dude. You're so overly kind. I've always loved your enthusiasm. It comes across not only in your comments, but in your profile picture, and also in your photography, man. Yeah, nobody. I can think of few people who are, you know, whose work I appreciate more. It's a lot of fun to watch it for so many different reasons. Pleasure's been mine, by the way. Thank you, Mitchell. Yeah, there we go. Okay, caught up to where we were with when I deviated. Man, were you anywhere close to the bottom? Probably not. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think so. It was a good time. All things end. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. Yes. Yeah, those aren't going, again, those aren't going anywhere. How did I get back up here? Did you do that twice? You did, didn't you? That's cheating. This year has been a good buy for my tribute van too. Life finds a way anyway. Yeah, that's it, dude. Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, I think I might need to reshape it a little bit. I think it's a little bit. My head is slightly crooked. Few people know that, but I have to. It's hard for me to find a properly fitting hat and bicycle helmet. Motorcycle helmets were a challenge. I really only subscribed to support you. Sorry I couldn't make the exhibit. That's all good, dude. And I very much appreciate that support from that subscription. I remember seeing your name up there. I think there are only like a handful of people still subscribed, 5, 7, something like that. Yeah, I never really followed up on that, and I've always regretted not following up on that, which made it all the more important when I recognized that people were still willing to contribute to the channel in that way, and I always felt guilty about it. But again, that's just yet another sign that I probably shouldn't be doing this anymore. If I can't commit to doing the work, then this is probably not something I should be doing. Poser Posse's gonna stay up. I may even, thanks for the, yeah, this is a better hat. This is the color, yeah, maybe. Yeah, look how crooked that is. I'm just not seeing that. And it's not symmetrical. Oh well. Maybe I'll take it to a pro and have it redone. Anyway, but Poser Posse, that's gonna stay active for the time being. I don't know how active I'm gonna be on there. I probably won't be chiming in too much. If I ever, I'm not gonna say that I'll never do another photograph again. I'm a photographer first and foremost, and I do still have collectibles in the house. Most of those collectibles aren't going anywhere. I feel like I'm having to yell over this music. But so occasionally I may feel the urge, like, yeah, it'd be really cool if I did a photo of this figure with that figure. And if that's the case, then, you know, that Poser Posse is a perfect place for me to put it out there. Not all of my friends on Facebook, not all of my friends on Facebook appreciate collectibles. That's why I created the Poser Posse in the first place. Also to have a place for all of us to hang out between live streams. So that's going to stay there for the time being. Now, that being said, my attitude towards Facebook has changed remarkably lately. I find it icky. I find all social media icky to one extent or another. Facebook is about the only one I can still tolerate. I've gotten off Instagram a long time ago. I mean, my stuff is still there, but I haven't logged in but once or twice all year. And Twitter, forget about it. Forget about it. Threads, as soon as Zuckerberg made that announcement that he was going to be eliminating fact-checking and such, the next day my feed on Threads turned into a sewer. And I was like, no, that's it. You only get one chance. I'm not giving you an opportunity for redemption. Everything about that site was beautiful for the longest time. And as for Blue Sky, I know that everybody seems to find it a more tasteful alternative, but I just can't be arsed at all. Don't even care. I would rather spend my time reading a book now. Cool. It's important to understand the difference between a hat and a cap. Cap is the appropriate name for what you're describing, I think. This is a hat. Got a cap back there. I just remembered. Trying to decide what to do with it. It's a sideshow cap. I also have a Hot Toys cap. Thank you for saying that, because I was actually thinking that when I put this one on. I had already boxed this hat up and set it aside because it's definitely not meant for the heat that we're having here right now. It's a full-on felt hat, and it's, yeah, it should not be worn right now. I was going to put it away until the winter. It's definitely more of a formal hat than my other, which is a straw hat, high quality straw hat to be sure, but yeah, I was like, you know what, it'd be funny if I wore this black, all black. So thanks for catching that. Good job. There have been times I was cleaning the stovetop. See, that's the thing, is that you guys can do that. You guys can get stuff done while the stream is happening, and I couldn't do that. Yeah, so I was missing all that. Collector Joey's here, what's up? Thank you, man. Thank you very much. That's cool, John. Thank you, man. Thanks very much. I think we're friends on Facebook, so, you know, you'll get to see what I'm up to. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. You keep doing what you're doing, man. It's I think it's working for you, so, yeah. Huge congratulations on the Sideshow step up. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was nervous about it too because, again, my bandwidth was shot. My psychological bandwidth was shot by the time I took that vacation. But it did me a lot of good. And I think stepping aside from this will free up even more. I'll be a lot less stressed. You do anything 24 hours a day, you get sick of it. And I don't want to get sick of this. This hobby has brought me so much joy. It's brought me some misery. It helped contribute to my divorce. But that could be seen as a good thing. And I'm choosing to see it as a good thing. So yeah, even that thing it did for me, you know. So I don't want to abandon it all. I don't want to look at my stuff and hate it, and that was starting to happen, believe it or not. So this way, I think it will get some work-life balance in there, help me to level set, and just move on to other things that I've been putting off because I've been doing this 24/7, 365. Yeah, let me know if you're ever in town. Oh, that's something I hadn't even considered. Yeah, I don't know. Harold's really interested in doing live streams and videos and such. I think he's exclusively focused on photography. If anything, I would give him the poser posse. Yeah, hand that over to him and say, yeah, fun with that, dude. In fact, maybe I should just make him a moderator right now. Harold, are you here? Yeah, that was a good idea. Thank you very much, Mandy. You're no slouch yourself in that department. Really sorry that I missed out. I know that you had I feel like I seem to remember you had an interview on Toytography Magazine or one of those channels. I can't remember which one. And I plan to tune in for it, but I don't know if it ever materialized or if it got postponed or what happened there. That's fine, Linda. Just over here. One of the Lindas actually said, I don't think that I'll believe it when I see it. Was it you or was it the other Linda? And I'm like, oh, well, anytime that tells me that they don't believe that I'm going to do the thing makes it even more likely that I'm going to do the thing. You know what I mean? So. There he is. Commander Green is here. Happy I was able to be here for the last stream. Thank you for the inspiration to keep taking photos of my toys. Keep taking photos of my toys. I'm like, you want me to take photos of your toys? Sorry, I misread that completely. Yeah. Oh, this must be the part where where I was showing off the photos. All right. Yeah, thank you, man. It took very little time. One thing that I'm noticing is, you know, this will be fun. Let me do this. If I can. I don't know how much room that I've got left. Oop, that's not what I'm after. But I'm going to do you a solid, guys, and show you before and after stuff. If it'll let me bring it up. Oh, no. Okay, I know how to make this happen. It just means I'm going to have to do some quick photoshopping really quick. Let's see, open you. Which should we do? Mando and Swoop Bike? Yeah, let's do Mando and Swoop Bike. I don't have screen mirroring turned on for whatever reason. Google changed their settings on that, the bastards. So, let me open this. And, because I think I must have deleted the original raw file. Or else it's still on the card. But let's see if I can do this way. Nope, can't do it that way. Scheisse. Scheisse. What card would it be on? That one. That's already plugged in. Let's see if it's still there. I'm not keeping you guys from anything. Are you cool if I fart around and do a thing or two to make some pseudo quasi magic happen? What time is it? 10:35. It's only been 30 minutes. Wow. There it is. It's taking its time, but it got it done. Oh yeah, man, we got this. We got this. Cool. Just I have to remember which one I used. And I think it would be the last one. It's usually how I roll. Regardless, it's fine. Let's just go ahead and do this. And that's 1679 is the file number. Let's go back to Google Chrome. DSC 679, right? Yeah. All right, let's open that. So, this is the final image, but this, if I can get it up. There we go. Yeah, that is the original. You can see the light stand up there. I've got a single light there serving as the sun of Tatooine. And let me get rid of Manny's comment here really quick, so you can see all of it. But like, look how even the sand doesn't cover the full table. And of course, there's the base, the stand, and everything that are poking through there that I decided I didn't need. I should have gotten rid of that rock too that's in the foreground. That was kind of superfluous and kind of detracts a little bit from the overall appearance of the image once I get the motion blur in there. But that's how it looks before. And then after all the magic happens, it suddenly turns into this. Let's go back and forth between that a couple of times, right? Boom, boom. So I was telling somebody, because remember a lot of the photos that I used to do for Sideshow, all of it was in camera. I made it a point, and I had a lot more time on my hands then because I was getting paid to do it, but I made it a point to do everything in camera. Like the image of Han Solo with the probe droid that I think everybody here has seen. That's all in camera. So I was joking last night with somebody that it seems like my photography has gotten worse while my photoshopping is getting better. So I'm going to scroll down here and see if there's any, yeah, BTS, man, BTS. Well, that's as close to BTS as you're going to get. That's just the raw image. BTS would actually show the setup, which I kind of can do. I mean, obviously that's just a sky blue backdrop. It's a seamless paper backdrop that's hanging down to the ground. It's not even covering the table. I can't remember if this is actual sand or crushed almond cells, but it looks like it's just reddish colored sand that you would use for a, like a lizard aquarium kind of a thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, and of course I had to, let's go back over here. You can see that I had to Photoshop the stand out, the base out. Oh God, this is the old version. Because you can see a bit of the stand left behind on that, under the struts, under the foot struts. Look at Mando's right foot and then look down. You can see a little bit of the flexible stand right there that I forgot to Photoshop out. For the image that went up on for the show, I actually Photoshopped that out. So this is an older version of this file. So that's gone. But yeah, I Photoshopped all that out, added the motion blur in Photoshop, cloned the light, and cloned out the light stand. Very simple process. I think even the smoke is practical. Let's see. Yeah, the smoke you can see is practical there in the original image, and then that's also cloned and copied over to the second sun when I copied and pasted that second sun. And then the first sun, actually you can see it's a little bit brighter. That's because that's where I placed the point for the highlight point for the lens flare. So we get that awesome lens flare effect down there at the bottom, which also helps to hide. Doing that lens flare helps a lot to hide those imperfections, so to speak. Anyway, let's get me back. Oh, wow. Have you guys not been able to hear me? Because it just told me that my audio was removed. Check, check. Okay. Yeah, it seems like it's going. Anyway. So, yeah. Got a comment here. I meant to ask last night, the behind-the-scenes photo you had of Han and Probe Droid. Did you have two different Hans you were testing for that shot? That's correct. Okay, cool. Thanks, Bad Wolf. Thanks for confirming that. Yeah. Yeah, there were two Han Solos. When Sideshow did their Han Solo, they did a version with the blue coat and a version with the brown coat. One of them would be the exclusive. I can't remember which one that was. Probably the brown coat. Purists are going to want the one with the brown coat because brown was the actual color of Han Solo's coat in Empire Strikes Back. It looked blue in the original versions of it, but I feel like now these days with the subsequent color corrections and everything that have gone on as they've, you know, upgraded the films for future releases, Blu-rays and whatnot, that you can see, if you look close enough, you can actually tell that it's brown, and that the effect, I can anyway, because I can kind of see through the color grading these days because I've been doing it so much myself. Yeah. Okay, cool. Brian Carr's here, speaking of Photography Magazine. Moving right along. Everybody saying hi. Oh, that would be something. That would be something. I don't know where I'd put it. I honestly don't. Yeah. That's a bit unkind. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was fun. I mean, it's great to be. It's gratifying. After all the time and effort that I put into this, and it just became such a huge part of my life over the course of, oh God, 15 years professionally, and like 20 years, including the original hobby phase of it, where I wasn't really doing anything magical with it. But you know, after you put that much time and effort into something, to have it put out there in the open for people to see it, and then to have that response be so enthusiastic, yeah, it was great. Really enjoyed it. Both words will work. Oh, hey, Iris. Thanks. Show was perfect. I mean, I blew the speech. I had to give a 5 to 10 minute speech, and yeah, I had everything planned out. I took a half day off here yesterday so that I could practice it and just get. I mean, I started out actually writing a full-on speech that I planned to memorize and recite, but it all sounded so damn disingenuous that I scrapped 3 different versions of it. And then I just opted to go with some talking points, and I had all the talking points written down. I was going to have a cheat sheet with me, and I left it here. But I told myself, yeah, I'll be fine. I kind of practiced it in a little side room before the reception started, and it seemed to be going okay. But as soon as what do you think, Bad Wolf? 100 people in that room? Something like that? Maybe a little less? As soon as all those people were just staring at me and I had a microphone in my hand, I lost all of it. I just had to wing it. So I told Chris later, I'm like, none of this is what I planned to say. You know, yeah, we're gonna do the shorts, Paul. We're gonna do the shorts. But and those are gonna start again. Well, starting this week actually. Once I catch up with the first looks, which I'm doing one this weekend to make up for the time that I spent practicing speeches yesterday, and then I've got another one. What have I got over there? I don't remember, and probably I can't talk about it. I just wrapped up Black Widow. I don't know if they were able to get that live, but yeah, that's done. And there's a few other things coming down the pipe. Yep. Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Scrolling back up here really quick just to, let's see, make sure I'm not missing any comments, because I did scroll down to see the feedback. Let's do this. Boom. Thank you. Thanks, man. Was I? I really wish somebody had recorded it. I don't remember a thing I said. So weird. That's so strange. Better troll. It looks like we're coming to the end here, I think. Thanks, bud. Appreciate you. Rune's here. What's up, Rune? Welcome aboard. Last one, dude. Last one. This is it. No more. Difference between a cap and a hat was beaten into me in basic training. The majority of modern headwear are caps. That's 100% accurate. 100%. There's a great bit in Boardwalk Empire where someone explains to Al Capone the difference between a cap and a hat. Yeah. And I also have a newsboy cap that I used to wear a lot before I started getting into actual hats. And so Al was wearing newsboy caps all the time. I think it was the character of Al Capone. He was wearing newsboy caps all the time, and some guy was like, you're a man, but you wear the cap of a boy. And it hit Al pretty hard. I think a fez is a hat. I don't know. Fez is a weird hat. But it's also cool. Just ask the doctor. I believe a fez is a category also. That's actually, that's nice. That's kind of incontestable. It definitely is. Fezzes are cool. Very cool. Nice. Oh, so you did. All right, cool. I'll have to go back. Hey, brother. Glad to have you here. Yeah, dude. That's a valid point, man. And I catch myself. I'll go for like this year especially. I've been actively trying to practice not buying collectibles, but I'll go for 2 or 3 months without buying a single one, and then I'll just be like, okay, I'll drop $1,000 in a day, and it's just no. That's actually kind of that's actually the cool part of the job. And it's going to enable me to continue doing photography if I choose to do so. Because they're very rarely on my case to send any of these things back right away. They do expect them back at some point. They keep very careful track of what I have. And, but they don't lean on me to get them back. So I hang on to things for a couple of different reasons. First and foremost, I hang on to different figures so that I can pose them up for the final pose samples in future videos for another figure that I know is coming down the pipe. And this is very effective in like Star Wars figures and Marvel figures especially. But another reason that I like to hang on to them is because I do have designs on doing a photograph with one of them, or one or more of them. So yeah, that's I'm really grateful that they let me do that, and I hope that they continue to let me do that. That's hilarious. Oh, I used to ride. There was this guy that I grew up with. His name was Chris Swain. That dude was an asshole from day one. I don't know if he had like fetal alcohol syndrome or what, but he was just always such a jerk. But I didn't have a lot of friends. There were not a lot of people in the town where I grew up in. So it's like, your friends choose you, that kind of thing. Chris Swain chose me, and he was just a volatile human being, and just would like. I remember one time he legitimately attacked a bunch of kids using lye, which is super caustic and left blisters all over their skin, all over their arms and faces. I mean, that dude was just a straight up asshole. And this was, I think we were 10 at the time that he did this. He was just violent. Beat me up a couple of times. Yeah, I still have a scar on the inside of my lip thanks to him. But he would. After high school, me and a few other people just decided we wanted to start riding motorcycles, and he saw how much fun we were having, so he got himself a 600 Ninja. And promptly was repossessed. I don't think he had it more than 2 months. But he would ride around on that thing with no helmet, just with a cigarette hanging out of his lips. I'm like, wow, no. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go with that one. It is a Les Paul, but it's not a Gibson. It's a Epiphone. It's my first guitar. It's my first midlife crisis guitar. Let's call it that. Yeah, it's it's picked up a little bit of dust in the past few days, but that's easily remedied. It's a gorgeous little thing. It's the, what is it? I can't remember the year. 1960 Tribute Plus from Epiphone. And it's got the old school pickups from back in the day, so there's a real nice vintage tone that comes out of it. when you actually play it. But yeah, just look at the tone on that. The cherry top with that beautiful tiger stripe going on there. Yeah, it definitely needs cleaned. That's just love right there. Yeah. That's the other thing that this is going to do. It's going to enable me more time to tune my guitars and to play them. So. Y'all hearing the music okay? Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's not. Well, he may be right that it's not what he played. Yeah? Somebody told me that my old professor, Tom Barkman, got a little emotional when I was speaking. I didn't notice it. I was just in full-on fight or flight mode. Do you know the difference between a plate and a dish? Okay, hold on. Let me think about this. I do not. Should I Google it? Should I Google that shit? You know what? It just occurred to me that I can say whatever I want to now, and to an extent, and play whatever music that I want to now, because what are they going to do? They're going to give me one copyright strike. You're supposed to get 3. I could straight up be listening to Foxy Shazam this whole stream, and there's nothing they could really do about it. They have no power over me. Maybe I should do that. Foxy Shazam, by the way, is the best band in the world. I've discovered them through Peacemaker. That one of their songs plays over the top of the opening credits for the new Peacemaker season. I knew of them from the previous Peacemaker season. They had a song on the soundtrack called Welcome to the Church of Rock and Roll. That's a banger. But I decided that I needed to pay more attention to them after I heard that new song. And god damn, their entire catalog is amazing. Not only that, but I'm 95% certain that they used to play occasionally at the bar I worked at in St. Louis when they were just getting going. But this would have been around, I don't know, 2008, 2009, 10, somewhere in there. And I remember thinking, these guys are pretty good. They only played like once in a blue moon, like, I don't know, once a month or something like that. But man, they're from Ohio. They're from Cincinnati, I believe, or maybe Cleveland. One of those towns in Ohio. Anyway, Googling difference between a plate and a dish. A plate is a specific type of flat dish typically used for eating and serving individual portions of food. A dish is a broader, more general term that encompasses any container for food, including plates, bowls, serving dishes, and even proper preparations of food. Now, this is according to AI. Google AI. Yeah. So that tracks. So, all plates are dishes, but not all dishes are plates. I think it's probably the most concise way to say that. Am I wrong, Laura? Keith Lee's here, joining us for the final live stream. He was trying to manipulate me into not doing last night. What was the plan? Get me so drunk that I couldn't actually do a live stream, do a final live stream? Yeah, it was going to come sooner or later. You would only have delayed the inevitable, my friend. The after party was hosted at my friend Tom Barkman's house, Professor Barkman to all of you, and that place is magnificent. Am I right, Keith? I mean, God. He and his wife Tracy have an amazing home. Hey, Eric, what's up? Thanks. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. It did indeed. Thanks, Barefoot. Yeah, I gotta figure out a way to do that. I'm assuming, hopefully, you're part of the Poser Posse, and everybody else here is part of the Poser Posse, and because that would probably be the best way to stay in contact, or to let everybody know when I'm going to be someplace. Because I do intend to do some travel, and the UK is definitely at the top of my list of places to go. After my divorce is finalized, I do plan on taking at least 2 weeks and going somewhere. Scott Heinemeyer and I are planning a trip up the coast next spring. And by that I do mean the left coast. We're going to start in LA and go all the way up to Vancouver. You know, that's awesome. If I ever move out your way, maybe we should start a band together. All of them. All of them. Accurate. Accurate. plate has a flat rim on the edge. A plate does not have that flat rim. Wait. I think you screwed that up. So AI got it wrong. Shock me. Shock me. Wow. It's come down to the wire. I can't talk you out of it, can I? Alright, just remember the divorces are really expensive. So, if you're going to go through with it, stay on your best behavior with that in mind. Just kidding. Congratulations! It's going to be amazing! Yeah, if and when I get to the UK, then I'll make sure that everybody knows. Right now, the destinations include London, Liverpool, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do Edinburgh or Glasgow. Glasgow. There it is. Oh, that's fun. Okay. I will trust pottery people before I trust Google AI. Because, I mean, when you say do the dishes, that does kind of encompass everything. So I think maybe that's where AI was approaching it from. So yeah, AI got it wrong. Yeah. Okay. Plate has a flat edge, a dish does not. I'm going to remember that. I'm studying it right now, committing it to memory. And although if last night was any indication, that's no indication of it actually lasting. Shadow Wolf is asking, want to watch the movie Green Mile? Yes, you should watch it. Any movie that that director does that's written by Stephen King is worth watching. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'm sure that somebody's going to say it in the comments. But he also did, he's the same guy that directed Shawshank Redemption and The Mist. So, yeah, before Mike Flanagan was a thing, that was the go-to guy for properly doing a Stephen King movie. Oh, if only. My retainer was twice that much. Last one. Tom Tracy's home was wonderful. Tons of things to look at, and every item has a story behind it. That's 100% true. I mean, Tracy's my age. Tom's 71. Tom is 71, and that's a lot of accumulation of really cool stuff, and they are very particular about what cool stuff they collect. Unlike me. Anyway, I sat in that chair that reminded me of the chair that comes with the Mandarin figure. That's, man, I will show you guys that. Let's see here. Yeah. Here's Keith Lee in a chair that the Mandarin would have loved. There we go. Let's get that. Tell me that's not grand. Fabulous. Fabulous. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Never seen that one. Anyway, when it might be the only last opportunity to get corrected. I don't know. I don't know if at this point I think that it's almost like a joke that he never spells my name correctly. But I don't know if Shadow Wolf is a he or she and or what their pronouns are. So everybody's seen this figure before, right? Let's close that out really quick. Oh, by the way, Frank Darabont. Thank you, Greg, the Media Geek. It's good to have you here, Media Geek. Yeah. Who's playing in the background? I will let you know. The piano is performed by... I'll pull this up. This is a playlist that I pulled up on Epidemic Sound, and this particular track is by Hara Noda, and it's called Aligned. A-L-I-G-N-E-D. Hara Noda. H-A-R-A-N-O-D-A. I just decided to change the format up here a little bit and put some blues into our lives, which kind of felt appropriate given the nature of this final live stream. Let's pull this out. Am I going to make the skin sparkle? So yeah, a while back, my friends at Sideshow secured for me one of these figures that I'd missed out on. They didn't get me the exclusive version with the awesome base, which is fine because I had other plans for it that didn't include the base. And it also didn't include... It was missing... I can't remember if it was missing the portrait or the back hair, just the back hair piece for the Robert Pattinson head sculpt. Oh, it was just the back hair piece. I think what happened is, because it happened with mine too, I think what happened was that the glue on the magnets is a bit weak. Both magnets in my head sculpt that I just recently acquired. I'm jumping ahead in the story here, but both magnets broke off. The magnets were so powerful that they were more powerful than the glue, so I had to re-glue them into place. And I think what happened is that somebody who bought one of those figures, the magnet broke off, and rather than try to fix it themselves, they were just like, hey, blah, 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 and they got themselves a free, they pulled the back hair off like so. Wow, that's really a strong magnet. They pulled this off, and Sideshow just took an extra one out of this particular one and sent it off to the guy, and this thing got held up for parts. When no more parts were needed, it got thrown into the giveaway pile. And it came to me. And it's fucking... This is my favorite Batman figure by far. I don't even know if the Pattinson Batman is my favorite Batman movie. I think it might be. But there's also the recency bias thing to consider. I also have all the accessories here, which I may need. I've got the full-on kit and caboodle. Maybe it is the portrait that's missing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Or we won't. Who cares? So, one of the things that and you've probably been looking at it over here this whole time and wondering what that is, but so one of the things that one of the things that I really wanted, that I missed out on when it came up for sale, was this. Remember when I did the first look for that one? I really went overboard on the technical jargon for motorcycles on this one, to the point that somebody in the video actually commented, "Tell me that Terry likes motorcycles without telling me Terry likes motorcycles," or something to that effect. Or I'm getting the feeling that Terry really likes motorcycles. Infographic Tony agrees. I did indeed require the missing pieces for the Batman. Yeah. In fact, I finally found a reasonably priced head sculpt, full head sculpt with everything, but it also came with a full set of hands and something else. I forget. Oh, the faces, the expressions. So I've got extra expressions now too. So if anybody needs any of those, let me know. Favorite hot toy? I can see it with good reasons. It's just so good. So when I made the move to quit, I was just like, I got to make sure I get that. And I just Googled and I found that, and I was like, okay. Oh, that's right. That's nice. The best Batman movie is the opening credits for the animated series. Yeah, okay. I'll allow that. You never know, Tiny Art Guy. You never know. Let's open this thing up. Yeah, it's sealed. It's sealed. The guy who I got it from was he'd advertised it as sealed, in box, whatever. And after I won the auction, I don't even think it was an auction. I think it was a buy it now. And but after I won that, he stepped up and was just like, "Hey man, I just wanted to let you know I screwed up. The original cardboard shipper is actually open. I just opened it just to check the contents," and I was like, "Yeah, I do that. That's fine. I get it. You don't want somebody getting their collectible off of you and saying that they opened up the cardboard box to find something else inside. And that's kind of crucial. That's why I almost never sell things sealed unless it's super valuable. So here it is. God. I wonder if I'm going to love this as much as I did when I did the Sideshow video. Let's find out. Oh, you got one too? Rad. Okay. Oh, look at that. Keith did a super chat. Okay. Well, maybe I will get a payout after all this is done. It's getting close. Yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. You might have missed the thing where I said I think right now I've only got even after all these super chats, I only have like 30 or 40 bucks in my account, and they don't pay out until it goes over 100. So while I appreciate the super chat, I'm probably not going to see it for several months. And that's if memberships hang on. Filthy table, filthy table. There it rests. Make sure I didn't miss any other super chats. That's bad form. Oh, did you break them? I'm sorry, that sucks. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't have any issue with them, but yeah, I will be careful. They really do, man. That's the other reason that I'm kind of fine with giving all this up, is because YouTube is just so freaking frustrating. Yeah, it's like, remember how, for years now, people have been aghast at the idea that so many kids, when asked what they want to be when they grow up, they say YouTuber, which back in the day was apparently a viable option. These days, though, yeah, they want all that money. Oh, that's fun on the back. Let's go ahead and show that a little bit. Right? A lot going on. Now, my memory of this is that for the video, I struggled with getting him on the bike. He won't go all the way on the bike. I had to have him somewhat out of the saddle. Sorry, I'm just looking up and now I'm noticing that my R2-D2 from Attack of the Clones is currently, which I had sitting up on the acrylic stand in flight mode, is currently laying on its face. It fell off the stand at some point since yesterday, actually, because I actually took this photo. Where is it? There we go. I took this photo yesterday? There we go. And it's doing fine. In the dead top. I bought a new camera. This is a good place. This is a good time to stop the presses here. I bought a new camera. Just for fun. It is this lovely retro looking Nikon ZFC, which it's a, I don't know what's it called, ASP or APC. Yeah, it's got the cropped sensor on it. It doesn't have a full 35mm size sensor on it, but it was super cheap because it was refurbished and they were having a refurbished sale. So I got the thing for 500 bucks plus another couple hundred for the for this retro looking lens, 28mm lens that came with it. And it's just so much fun because I can set it to manual mode and do it old school style. It's got all the dials like the old Nikon FMs used to have, right? Yeah, so much fun. Yes, thank you, Linda. DX format. Yeah, but there's another name for it that in general describes crop sensor camera. I think it's specifically for DX with Nikon, but yeah, it's like a 3-letter rank thing. But yeah, man, isn't it just gorgeous? Look at it. I'll just get up close so that you can see it a little bit closer. And they also do a full-frame sensor version of this, just called the Nikon ZF. I guess the C in ZFC stands for compact, because it is much smaller. But I love it, man. It's lightweight. It's compact. I got this great strap from Peak Design in collaboration with some other company, because it's got those really sick anodized orange metallic clasps there for for adjusting the strap. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I shopped a lot at Peak Design lately. I also bought this little system down here on the bottom. See that? That's set up so that I can rig it to a clip. There's a clamp that you can put on your belt or on a strap for a backpack or something like that, so that you can just lock your camera onto it. And I haven't implemented that yet. I'm going to experiment with that sometime in the near future. I meant to have it on me like that for the show, but that just didn't transpire. So this image that I showed up here is one of the test images that I shot with that I shot with that camera. And here's another one just sitting on my desk, shooting stuff that's at my desk. Here's the Boba Fett premium format that I just got. I mean, just look at that great bokeh. It's got that 1.8. That's set to 1.8 on the aperture, so you get a lot of bokeh in the background, a lot of that separation of the background. And this guy right here, there it is. Wow, he's super cool. Might be wrong. That might be shot with the 85. I put an 85 on there at one point. What's this, Garrett? We already forgive you and look forward to next Saturday. Oh, well, don't set your heart on it. That's awesome, man. Thank you for that chuckle. I really needed that. That's okay. That's fair. No, never, 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 never. That would be no sense in that. Lens compatibility, yeah, would be an issue. That was one of the questions that I got last night. Somebody asked me, are these shot with Nikon or Canon? I'm like, doesn't matter. Yeah. But it was Nikon and Canon, both. Yeah, it was very much an impulse buy. Very much an impulse buy. But I have the first time that Nikon did something that was a Canon was a Nikon called the camera called the Nikon DF. Yeah, the DF. It wasn't the Z mount. It was the old school F mount camera. It's also good. You know what? We're here. It's the last stream. Let's just go for it, right? I'm gonna go grab it. It's currently on display in a it's currently on display on a shelf up there. Let's go ahead and clear this out. But yeah, this is the original retro digital camera that Nikon did called the DF, and it's still pretty valuable even though it's kind of obsolete. I mean, I think it only has like a 17 megapixel sensor, maybe 16, I don't know, something like that. But the image quality is great on it, and it's still highly sought after. I mean, I can get at least $1,000 for this right now, especially with all the add-ons. I bought this handmade leather half case for it to protect it, as well as this sweet handmade leather strap, which I don't know, just really completes that. I really wanted to complete that whole retro vibe with it. And I to be honest, I very rarely used this one because it was meant to be like my walk around camera, like when I went on vacations or took trips or something like that. And I just never went on any trips. so it spent most of its life on its shelf. If it's got 1,000 if the shutter's got 1,000 shots on it, I will be surprised. Very surprised. Let's set that over there with that. And get back to comments really quick. Yeah, I got a handful and none of them are any good. I was just, every time I brought the camera to my face, somebody was grabbing my attention for something, which is fine. But I feel like Bad Wolf Media was there with a camera. I'm sure he got a lot of great shots. I saw a couple already that he sent to me. Sorry, buddy, I didn't have time to offload them from my camera to the computer, or else they would be up here for people to look at. Yeah, Desmond, you never know. It's my last stream. Indulge me. Indulge me. And, yeah. Yeah, but getting back to that. Oh, Peak Design is just, yeah. I very nearly backed their new strap, their new camera strap. Not strap, I'm sorry. Their new camera tripod. But at the end of the day, it was $600 for a tripod, and I was like, nah, I can't. I have 2 tripods already. Each of them was pretty expensive, so yeah. But yeah, Bad Wolf took a lot of shots last night. APS-C sensor. Thank you, Bad Wolf. Very good. 1.5 crop. Yeah. That's, yeah, I had to run the numbers in my head, but yeah, 42 millimeter equivalent. So maybe that is what I used on Boba Fett over there. I want to get a few more APS-C lenses for that one and my Z50, which I'm thinking about upgrading to. I'm foolishly thinking about upgrading to a Z52, but probably shouldn't do that. Also, there was another guy there named Ross, who is a friend and or associate of the gallery manager, Chris, and he was taking images as well, so I'm kind of hoping that I'll have access to those. Not sure if he was shooting on behalf of the gallery or what, but I did occasionally look up and see him pointing the camera in my general direction. It would be very nice to get those images, and I would be very surprised if they're not offered to me. I think that that's kind of the intent. Again, so sad though that nobody recorded the speech, because I kind of want to. Everybody says I did great, and I really want to know if they're lying. That's accurate. I had left it in the car. So, in my own defense, I had a bottle of Blanton's to carry in. I didn't want to be juggling a bottle of Blanton's and a camera, a new camera. Yeah, that Fett is great. I don't participate in this. I mean, I've used both. All the images that you guys saw, the ones of you who were there and the ones of you who weren't, all the images that were on display in the gallery were a mad mix of Canon and Nikon. All the earlier stuff that was shot at Sideshow Studio was shot with the Canon. The stuff that I shot in my home or in my garage or whatever, all that was shot with Nikon. So yeah, it's legitimately. I mean, there's certain technical bonuses for owning either one. But for the most part, I think it's just down to ergonomics and what you're comfortable with and what you're familiar with. It's apart from having to rebuy all my glass, having to get to adjust to a completely different camera system was very challenging. I mean, I did it eventually, but I'm trying to take a full frontal nudity. Oh, that's a valid point. Who's up for that? I wish I could start a poll. All right. Did not get that one. Don't need it. It's, from what I can tell, it's pretty much the same as the first one, except you get a Phase 1 helmet, which I can deal. You're just hanging on to that, aren't you? They really are. In fact, I was looking at I was at the camera shop the other day, and I saw they had a few used Sony mirrorless cameras in there in the case for pretty good prices, and I was like, tempting. But for that amount of money, I could still get some decent glass, and I would rather have glass at this point than another body. Just kidding. I definitely need another body. I've been eating too much DoorDash, man, and it is starting to reflect on my waistline. Buzz Lightbeer. Nice, man. Gotta say, kind of sad to see you leaving, but want to say that's cool, dude. That's all fine. Yeah, I appreciate you so much. We've used exclusive crop sensors. Ah, nice. So even now, the cameras that you're using are crop sensor? That does matter for concert work. I get it. I'm very much a stickler for the depth thing, though. I'm used to a certain look with my lenses, and I do see the difference between a 50mm, even a 50mm lens that's set up for a DX camera, the Nikon sense. I can tell the difference in the apparent depth. Yeah, the distance between foreground and background. And, but it is nice to have for its convenient portability and the lightweight. because let's face it, that Z8 with, oh god, that I'm using a 35mm f. Is that a 1.8? Yeah, I think it's a. I don't think it's 1.9. I think it's smaller. What is the? Yeah, it's a 1.2. 35mm f 1.2 is massive. It's a beast of a lens that I'm using on this for this live stream. I'm like legitimately using a $2,500 lens to shoot my shitty little live stream. Talk about overkill. When I caught them and all your work with Sideshow, thanks, man. I guess we'll see you on the other side show. Yeah, you'll see me on Sideshow, man. I'm not going anywhere for the time being there. And if that opportunity ever ends, I may consider a comeback here. I don't know. Although I don't know, without making the money that I'm making at Sideshow, I don't know how I would afford to have this kind of a hobby. And again, I need to save for stuff. So yeah, this is done. And I think once Sideshow is done with me, I'll be completely done. So. I have no true issues with any brands. Okay. You don't need to explain, dude. I get it. That's it. Yeah, exactly. I'd even settle for full rear side, dude. No, I'm still working on getting that tramp stamp removed. Nice. You guys just let yourselves off the chain for this one, man. It's the end, so why the hell not? Like Stephen Colbert, ever since he found out he was getting shit canned, he's just like, all right, I'm gonna make you regret that. Oh, okay, nice. I always miss your streams since I'm part of the West Coast, so I'm glad I can make it today. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm running a little bit behind, but whatever. Oh, no. I mean, I always had plans for it, but I'm done. I'm done. I'm not gonna put the time and effort into seeing a full collection tour, especially not in its current state. R2's laying flat on his face over there, and there's a couple statues that are here on the desk that shouldn't be here, but I don't know where else to put them. Yeah, even this room is a mess. I've got boxes stacked up here from a photo that I planned to shoot but didn't have time to shoot. That living room's a disaster. And the studio, between all the work for Sideshow and all the personal stuff that I've been doing lately, is just an absolute mess. Bedroom, forget about it. Forget about it. But yeah, and I also feel like y'all might be disappointed. I've seen some pretty fabulous collection tours. Looking at like, I've always loved watching what Jetta Patrol has done with his collection, both when he lived in his original house and the new house that he moved into. What Paul Lee, Sun Hyun Lee has done with his collection is inspirational. Inspirational. It definitely sets a bar for how a geek cave should look. And when I see things like that and I recognize that my house isn't set up to do something similar, then I'm like, yeah, it would just be kind of disappointing. All you get to see is what I've got. I mean, it's all in Detolfs, and a lot of it's even on open shelves. Like, there's stuff over there. Here, let me just... See that? Like, all open shelf stuff? And it just looks kind of... It does look like it's cluttered over there, but trust me when I say that it's legitimately... There's legitimately a plan to it. Yeah, when you see it from straight on, there's like a flow to all the silhouettes. It's like looking at a cityscape. And not like looking at just a bunch of figures thrown onto a shelf. But yeah, thank you for the interest in that, Man of Tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just not going to be able to make that happen. Not with the constraints that I've set for myself. I use the Sony Alpha 7 Mark IV. Wow, you get much better bokeh over APS-C, but those are great for on the road. That's it. That's it exactly. For the most part, I use regular. I do have, and again, this was a total FOMO decision on my part to get this one, but I bought the Z 105 f2.8 that is a macro lens, but it's also a really stunning portrait lens, and that's what I use anytime that I'm shooting portrait shots for first look videos. I swap out my 24-70 and throw on that 105 macro, and that's what I use to get those close-ups. For those portraits, especially when I have time to properly light them. If I were to get a tramp stamp, should it be a Clone Trooper insignia or a Ghost album cover? Next poll. Yeah, thank you, Tony. It's yeah, it's been good to hang out with you the past several streams. I think you came along later, right? If I'm not mistaken, like just past few months. And so yeah, you've been a great presence on here. I appreciate you. Alfieri, you're a real collector unless you get a loan and get more collectibles. Trust me, I did a lot of that. There was a lot of charging of collectibles. I regret that now in my maturity and looking at staring retirement down the throat. I'm just like, ooh. All that money I spent on interest could have been put into savings instead, and I could very well have retired now. Oh, no. There are some restrictions with my employer that don't allow me to, I can't sell things that I buy from them until I get let go. Got it. Yeah, I get that. I do understand that reference. I've never once played World of Warcraft, but I do get that reference. You might have addressed this already, but will the Poser Posse Facebook group remain open? Yes, in fact, I'm going to be appointing some moderators. Would you like to be one? And I may actually just hand it all over to Harold Green. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, there's an idea. Okay, let's put that at the top of the list. Yeah, so the Poser Posse Facebook group will remain open. My presence on there is already minimal. So yeah, if that's going to change at all, it's actually going to become even more minimal. Yeah. Yeah, Keith, you're into it? Yeah, okay, cool. Steve Nara seems interested. Yeah, why not, man? I'll just have a posse of moderators. Because I do actually plan on leaving Facebook at some point in time. I'm just gonna get sick of it someday, and I feel like that day's coming. There's a lot of political nonsense that's going on that's turning me off, and the way that their algorithm is working things right now, I just can't deal with Facebook anymore. It's and yet I still go there because I am addicted, like so many other people, and that is by design, and that's just icky. Yeah, I'm upset right now thinking about it. Let's just go ahead and bring up some photos to. Yeah, that makes me happy. There we go. That just takes away the total sadness of having to talk about social media. Look at that. I'm so happy with that. Yeah. Yeah, man. Again, it's just icky. I can't deal with it. Okay, I was going to do something with this damn thing, and I feel like I probably should so that when noon comes, I can go give my dog some loving, some belly rubbings, some butt scratchings. Ooh, fuck. Thought I lost it. I thought I'd lost you, boy. Never turned down an opportunity to, Why is this? Oh, this is wobbly. Let's get that up there so y'all can see just how wobbly it is. There, I'll give you another chance. Okay, so let's just go ahead and pull this bad boy out. And bad boy is not a phrase that I use lightly because I think that it's overused and not by me. Let's see. You can see there's this foam all over this stuff, and I should have taken the small things out first, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Side mirrors, I'm going to put them over here so they don't get knocked off the table. Apparently they're fragile. Thank you for that warning. Steve! Need you to call it out so I can dig the comment down. I'm leaving it up until you tell me to take it down. That's just how this one's going to roll. Got two side stands here, or two center stands here. One for parking it at an angle and one for keeping it erect. The Viagra of side stands. Center stands. Sorry. Oh, I'm looking at another motorcycle. I know I said I wouldn't. But there's like a, I don't know, 2013 or 2015 Triumph Thruxton that's available now. Oh, look at you, you sexy beast. Oh, tight. There we go. Thanks, man. One last time. Once more into the breach, my friend. God, it's just so damn sexy. And allow me to tell you what's sexy about it. What they've done with this. They've incorporated so many different elements of so many bikes that I love. You can see a lot of the design is centered on the whole cafe racer craze that was really peaking right about that time. In fact, I just saw one going, a custom cafe racer going down the road the other day, just parked next to me at a traffic light, and I was like, oh, you sexy son of a bitch. That's fantastic. Oh, you saw that? Yeah. Actually, I got a comment from a Washington University professor. Washington University's the real deal; they're legit. But last night, who read that caption, and she photographed it so that she can read it to her classes because I can't remember exactly what she was saying because by that time I'd had a lot of wine. But basically, the essence was that she said that that's some of the most honest, non-pretentious writing about one's own work that she's ever seen, and it's like, which is apparently a problem in that kind of thing. When people are talking about their own artwork, they tend to overly dramatize it and make it sound all self-important and everything. But yeah, I should probably just read that. So anyway, let's talk about this bike. Cafe Racer stylings right there, right down to that seat, that custom-looking super flat seat. Not at all designed for comfort. It's hanging on there. It looked like it was trying to pop off, and maybe it still is. No, we're there. We're secured. It's friction fit, so that's good. Tank also looks very, very custom. Obviously, the fairing is custom because it's meant to symbolize it's meant to mirror that whole Batman motif. But then you get into the nitty-gritty of the things, and what you're seeing here is the frame on the thing is a trellis frame, which is totally evocative of old school Ducatis. Ducati only recently stopped doing trellis frames after they still had them kind of. It was a partial trellis frame on the last bike that I had, which is that crazy little bar style framework as opposed to the more solid, almost like artfully graceful flowing types of frames that you see in bikes of today. And Ducati's gone away from this, and they're starting to do their own thing. The engines are the motors, and I do mean motors because these are two 4-cylinder motors fused together that are very evocative of the design of BMW motors. And what Batman has done here is he's taken two of these BMW motors and slapped them together to effectively create an 8-cylinder. So you're getting an 8-cylinder into, check out those exhaust pipes. Look at that sweet patina on those exhaust pipes, how real that is. So what you're seeing here is that you've got an 8-cylinder engine with 4 exhaust pipes because there are 2 more over here. So each 2 cylinders per exhaust pipe. This thing would have a mighty, mighty freaking roar. Yeah. Also, there's a fully functioning suspension system up in the back. You see? And I can't remember, not in the front though. Not in the front. Sweet looking massive disc brakes on there. That thing can come to a complete stop in a hurry. Chain drive. That's an interesting choice. Is that chain or is it belt? It's chain. Okay, cool. Yeah, I had to come around and look at it. My eyesight's not that great. But yeah, chain drive instead of belt drive, that's probably for the best. Under the torque that thing's going to produce is going to be a problem. And I just love, this is obviously not a functional spring here. It flexes on its own in a different way. Beefy, beefy back tire. And the elongated swing arm, which basically is something that they use in drag bikes. That keeps the front end on the ground under hard acceleration. It switches the center of gravity such that instead of having the wheel here, which is where it would typically be on a motorcycle like this, it's all the way back here so that it legitimately cannot stand up on its front end. Also really messes with the handling for the bike. So there's a give and take with something like that. Anyway, I hope you all learned something here today on my TED Talk. I really do get energized when I talk about motorcycles. So, I need to remember how this goes. I should probably put batteries in it. We should put batteries in this. Is everybody okay with me walking away for a little bit? I don't remember how to set this up. No. Don't make me break out the instructions, and if I do, don't tell Paul. He'll never let me live it down. That's not it. Oh, wait. It's got to be there, right? Yeah, there we go. Get it on the proper side. There is no side stand on this bike. That's an interesting decision. There we go. Oh, super sexy, super cool. There's a screwdriver waiting for me back in that room. I know right where it is. I'm going to go get that. I should find out. It either takes AAA or AA. I'm going to go with AAA, but I have both, so I'll grab those. Give me 1 minute. I love how organized my studio is right now. I took the time to make that happen, and it's definitely benefited. What's this? See that Dayglow highlighter action going on there. $9.99 super chat from Rockamon Chris. Now that you are done, have you considered a life of crime? Looking for a frontman, Danny Ocean, for a security-based heist to obliterate the Power Loader 2.0 and others unreleased pieces N1 Starfighter. Oh, I see what you're after here. Yeah. No, I don't care enough about it anymore. There was a time where I would have considered it. There was a time where I was so feverish about 6 scale that I might have been like, yeah, man, that could be fun, at least to talk about. Wouldn't be fun getting caught, but if we got away with it, it'd be great. Totally regret not getting that power loader. It looked for a while there like they were going to redo it. They teased it at a couple of Comic-Cons. And by a couple, I think I meant 2 in the same year, that like New York and SDCC. There we go. Oh, 3 AAAs. Hot Toys throwing me for a loop. All right. Just kidding. I love you, Hot Toys. Don't tell Sideshow to fire me. Please. Oh, whatever. Don't fall. I need 1 more AAA. You know what? I should just let this stream go all day. I should. Just order DoorDash. Eat my cheeseburger in front of you all. As disgustingly as I possibly can. What was the other one we were talking about? Oh, the N1 Starfighter. I forgot all about that one. And I was there for that. That was the most recent one, I think, that they showed off at SDCC. It's a pretty tasty looking... No, the N1. That was the most recent one. Funny little story on that. I was selected as the person to assemble all of the Hot Toys figures, pose them all up for display for that particular Comic-Con. But there were a ton of them. And I don't know why they thought that I was going to be able to do that all by myself. I don't know if they thought I was like some posing superstar or something. Turn this down. I don't know how loud that is for you guys. But it became clear after like the first day or so that I wasn't going to be able to make that happen. And all of a sudden, all sorts of people were called in to help me. Well, for the N1 Starfighter, they had sent me instructions on how to assemble it. Swing and a miss on that first attempt. And when Jesse Lincoln was done with his Sideshow Superstar modeler, Jesse Lincoln, he volunteered to put together the N1. I was like, dude, that's a big load off. Thank you so much. And I went back to my day, started doing stuff. Jesse roped a couple of other people in to help him out. And at some point I realized, oh, you know what? I forgot I have the instructions for assembling that thing on my iPad. So I just took it over to him. And I was like, hey, dude, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot that I've got these, but yeah, here. He was like, yeah, it's going to be a big help. Thanks. Anyway, there was this asshole, I don't even know who he was, that was helping Jesse out, and he decided that he couldn't let that go. And he came over and just started antagonizing me. You mean to tell me that you had those instructions the entire time? Like, yeah, man, I forgot. Sorry, I got him to you as soon as I remembered. What's the problem here? And he just wouldn't let it go. I'm just like, look, what are you trying to achieve? While you're over here talking to me, antagonizing me, neither one of us is getting work done. Be a fucking professional. Go back over there and help out. If you want to talk about it later outside, we can talk about it then. And we never spoke about it anymore. I don't like dickheads, man. Beautiful. Look at that. You know what's not a dickhead? This motorcycle. Far out. This is one of the things that got me. Yeah. Pretty sweet. The taillight and the headlight just make it. I wish I could adjust so that you could see how cool this looks going through the clear plastic in there. Because it is pretty freaking sweet. Oh, wow, I forgot you don't even need to do the batteries. There's also a USB-C port right here. So you can plug it in. That's a lightning cable. Or a thunder cable, Thunderbolt. Whichever the first one was. Yeah. Okay, so let's get Batman on this thing. What do you say? Let's see here. Oh! Mirrors. What's this? Oh, okay. That's it. Nice. Okay, so Mike has just sent me the... I had it somewhere. I had it as... I still have the Pages file on my phone. But he sent me this, which prompted me and reminded me that I hadn't actually... followed up on that comment about the Wash U professor talking about how I wrote up this bit below the photo of Ray and Dio, which she was talking about. But here's what I wrote that she liked so much. Sometimes I choose my subjects to incite, to provoke, to poke the angry bears of fandom. That doesn't sound like me at all. Sometimes I choose myself. Okay, that's why I chose to do this image, and it's the image of Ray and Dio. Let me just see if I can get that up here really quick before I continue. Seriously, why let this thing end? Ray? There we go. I'm going to try to do the smallest size file that I can. But it looks like they're all 7 megs. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so here's this. This is the photo that we're talking about here in this, let's see. There it is. Okay, cool. Weird that they went that way. Are you guys, tell me if you're not looking at a photo of Ray and Dio. Because I am. So I'm not sure what happened there. There we go. That's it. That's got it. Okay. Okay, so here's what I had to say about that photo. Thank you, Mike, for reminding me of that. Sometimes I choose my subjects to incite, to provoke, to poke the angry bears of fandom. That's why I chose to do this image. Not because I have a particular fondness for either of the characters, although that little droid is totes adorbs. But because so many people were so vociferously hating on them. No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. So when I make a photograph like this in the face of a mountain of bile-flecked fanboy rage, I'm trying to send a message. And even if one or two people hear it, and the hearing of it creates a shift, then I've managed something remarkable. Never be cruel. We're lucky to have any films and shows at all. And the people involved put everything into making them. So be polite at the very least. And yeah, I stand by that. Take that down. I've got some comments since then I'll move on to actually posing up the Batman. Oh, dude, if only. That's probably another bucket list item that ranks right up there with having my own live stream. That was a bucket list item, it no longer is. having my own exhibit at my alma mater, which is now taken care of in fine fashion. Oh, wow, really? I guess I tuned out for that one. See what I did there. The Thruxton is cool, but that Speed Twin, it's special. It's a daily battle for me not to get one. Dude, so much so. Yeah, I know. The Thruxton almost seems unwieldy. I've never ridden one. When I bought my Ducati, that was the first bike that a Thruxton was the bike I was there to get. They had a brilliant, bright yellow one with like a checkered flag stripe motif going down the middle of it. It was just so dead sexy. But by the time I got there, it had already been purchased. Well, things might have gone completely different for me then. Yeah, working on that. Working on that. Oh, turn signals. I was thinking side mirrors. Yeah, you know, there's a whole thing going on here. I don't know if it's going on where you guys are, but there are a lot of like kids and just like, I don't know, white trash looking dudes rolling around on what looks like they're homemade motorcycles and motor scooters without any sort of lights or anything on them. I mean, just like motocross bikes, only, yeah, just custom built. It's like all the rage here. And they're just so damn dangerous. Yeah, I'm surprised more of them haven't been killed. Will anything tempt you to do a spontaneous live stream in the future? An unexpected Grail unboxing, a life update, wanting to talk about a new Star Wars film? I don't know. I don't like to say never, but if you made me decide today what the answer would be, then I would definitely say I will not do that. I will never do another live stream. But you don't know how I don't know how I'm going to feel in a year or 2 years or 5. It's possible that something could come up, but I don't know. It's almost part of it feels like kind of like a breakup, where you know on some level that that the best thing for both of you is to just cut that cord and keep it severed, and not to try to form a new attachment, which there's a reason why. When a breakup happens, there's a reason why it happens. They don't happen frivolously unless you're in high school. In which case they probably happen a lot. It did for me. But for this, I really do feel like this is a change that I have to make, and I have to abide by it. Otherwise, it loses meaning. When I do anything like this in the future, if I do it, if I walk back on this and start doing it again after going through all the trouble of doing an in-game, or doing this final live stream and everything like that, then all of a sudden it loses meaning and it loses credibility, and I lose credibility. So that's not something I want to do. And there'd be some asshole out there that's just going to be like, "You said that you were never going to do this again." And I'm like, and I do love doing impressions like that because that is how I imagine those guys. But yeah, it's yeah, I can't imagine that I will. But I don't know what my future is going to hold. What if I'm no longer employed by Sideshow for whatever reason, and I wind up getting an amazing job where I'm making a ton of money? Unlikely, because I am a creative and we're in an age where AI is looming on the horizon. But what if that happened? Then maybe, I don't know. At this point, though, I definitely want to see... Oh, you know what? I guess I should just stop blabbing and just show you that. That summates it completely. Yeah. Good job, Steve. Thank you. But yeah, just moving right along. If another part of this whole process is happening because I don't want to be 65 years old with a house full of collectibles. I don't know how long I'm going to live. There's one side of my family that's extraordinarily long-lived. Everybody goes into their 90s. There's another side of my family where everybody dies off in their early 70s. So it could be either way for me. I mean, thus far, I don't have many signs of heart issues. I have no signs of lung issues, despite all my attempts to create them. Hashtag cigarettes. Hashtag marijuana. Limited marijuana use. I could never really get into that one. So yeah, when it comes time for me to go, I don't have any children or anything like that. So whoever's got to come and clean up my shit, in some literally in some cases, in that case, they're also gonna have to contend with all these collectibles. And I'm pretty sure my sister won't live longer than I do, but you never know. All I know is that when my mom died and we had to clean out all of her stuff, I resented my mom a lot for several days there while I was having to do that, because she had a bunch of junk. It was ridiculous. Oh wait, hold on. What are we doing here? Yeah, we scrolled down a lot there. Well, okay, that's where we were. Okay. If you have the alternate cape for the Batman, use that one. It's a better cape and is designed to work better on the bike. Thank you. That's a hot tip. I do have that. However, I don't think I'm going to have him riding the bike. I'm going to try to have him riding the bike, but I don't expect that I'll be able to do it effectively. I need it to look good. I was able to cheat with camera angles for the video, but I need it to look good on the bike itself. If it's going to, like, fully good, if it's going to be on display with him riding the bike. So we'll see, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway. But thank you. I completely forgot about the alternate cape. It's also got a wingsuit, right? Not doing that one. Mando and Batman can start a biker gang now, and they can be joined by Anakin on his step. And Luke on a speeder bike. Oh no, but I've got the white one. Luke never rode the white one. Do you remember the Pure Art Cyberpunk 2077 Yabukusa Nagi bike he reviewed some years ago? You mean the one that's over there on my shelf with Spider-Man 2099 or 2020? Yeah, 2020 suit on there? Miles Morales 2020 suit? Yes. I got it in. It's freaking awesome. Akira vibes. Very much so. And I'm sure that that's by design. It's freaking gorgeous, right? Once I got that in my hands, I was like, there's no way I'm not owning this bike. And as soon as one came up slightly damaged for a really good price, snatched it right up. It's so good. It's so good. Right? Yeah, this is Batman Year 2. Literally. I mean, we saw elements of Batman Year 1 in the Christopher Nolan Batman series, which was a lot of fun. But this was Batman Year 2, which is the lesser known cousin of Batman Year 1 that wasn't done by Frank Miller. And but still I enjoyed it immensely. And that's what we're seeing here. He's still at arm's length from Wayne Enterprises. He's got nothing to do with them at this point. He hasn't met Fox or any of that. Yeah, he's so my thought is that this is where I think that this is going with Matt Reeves' Batman. This was Batman Year 2. Everything he's doing on his own, with his own power, with his own money, with his own hands. But the Batman that we see in the Christopher Nolan films, he's made the decision to reconnect with Wayne Enterprises, and that gives him the resources to create the more high-tech versions of these toys. But I just love this so much because it's more down to earth, it's dirtier, it's more fun, and it's like legitimately something that you could feasibly do yourself. Because they straight up made this bike. It exists. It functions, it runs. These engines were clamped together just like this for that motorcycle, and it's a thing of beauty. It's a work of art. Hey George, yes, it is 100% so. 100% so. Which is why I'm not even sweating the fact that it's noon, and we've been on for 2 hours now, and I'm not even started posing yet. So I'm like, yeah, let's just let it ride. We've got 46 people in the chat. That is a record. I'm gonna say it's the music, right? I moved this over too far. Let's see, there we go. All right, now I'm back. Now I can focus on myself. Maybe a Terry Holiday special. That could be fun. Maybe. I'd have to think about that. You bring up a valid point. Even RDJ came back. So again, anything's possible. My neck is starting to hurt from turning that way too much. Live stream or not, collecting or not, we're going to have to find a way to get together to talk about Star Wars Starfighter when it comes out, even if it's between songs. Well, you're down here all the time, bro. I mean, it's not like I'm never going to talk to you again. So, yeah, we'll be in touch. And with, oh, no, we're not caught up with the comments. Holy crap, man. You guys are being prolific today. Difficult to see, always emotion. That's where we are. Okay, good. Yes, nice. You know, that could be a lot of fun, and that might be the one thing that might tempt me back to this, is just something that's not even remotely collectibles related. Just, yeah, let's just sit back and, you know, find out what everybody's been up to. Who knows? It's going to be a long time before we have this opportunity. Could never happen again, but if it does, it's going to be months, possibly even years. And if it does happen again, then, you know, why not just get together and say, you know, hey, Buzz Lightyear, what's up? What have you been doing? Talk to me about your world. Nobody mocked Michael Jordan in any of his comebacks. I did. But then I don't like sports ball. Thanks, Rune. I'll miss you guys too. But I think I'll be a lot happier. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I read that in the voice of Rorschach. Hey, Mike. Yeah, good to see you. Thank you, man. Thank you, guys. And again, for those of you who tuned in since I first said it, I'm really gonna miss hanging out with everybody here. I feel like I've got an admirable set of subscribers and commenters and chatters in this on this channel. I've often thought about how it could have been so much. It could have been any level of worse. I mean, but everybody's just been so respectable and respectful and kind. There have been occasional moments of disagreement, but even those were handled really, really well. So I feel like, as far as YouTubers go, I've got a really solid group of followers and people that, for the most part, I would really enjoy meeting and hanging out with for over a beer or whatever. And I'm grateful for that. I've never failed to recognize that internally. I'm like, yeah, I'm really lucky. Don't let me forget to put these mirrors on. El Fieri made me feel so identified with you. One side of my family with longevity and the other side not so much. A bit of marijuana also. We all do all. No secret, eat healthy and exercise. And I intend to do so going forward. Yeah. Yeah. No more cheeseburgers from Salt and Smoke via DoorDash for me. No. No, when I eat, I'm going to rip open a nice, ripe red bell pepper. Throw it over some quinoa with some onion, and just scarf that down, man. I'm going plant-based. I'm making some vegan chili today. If you die before me, I will take care of your body and steal all of your toys. You know what? That should be in my will. That should be in my will. That all the subscribers to this channel and the Poser Posse get one voucher for one collectible and show up on a particular date or set of dates from a particular time to a particular time, and then walk through and grab one collectible, and that's yours. The thing is that if it's a collectible that's on display, you also have to go in the basement and find the box. That will be the hard part. And you are responsible for any and all brown recluse spider and essence that may be in said box. Sorry to say. That could be joined by Anakin on the stab, but Din and Bats will make fun of him. Yeah, probably. What is that? What are you doing riding that hummingbird? Have you seen all these people that are selling off everything they have collectibles-wise? Why? I don't know. Because the economy sucks? Because tariffs are driving up the prices of collectibles across the board, and nobody wants to pay those prices, and half the fun of collecting is that you get to keep acquiring things, and when for one reason or another you can no longer acquire things, and what's the good of having the stuff that you already have? So you decide to part with it. I think that's probably pretty valid. Talk to many people who feel that way. When they stopped the Lord of the Rings line without completing the 9, without completing the Hobbits and the Fellowship. so many people just dumped all of their Lord of the Rings collectibles from Sideshow. If you can't have the full set, if you can't keep collecting it, then what's the point? Tariffs are the devil. My brother, or the work of the devil. My brother has already said he's going to lowball my collection when I'm gone. Womp womp. My ex-wife said that she was doing that as well. So, yeah. I'm not allowed to talk about the Nolan films. I make people mad. It's the hat. It's got to be the hat. Dude. It's a great hat. Hey Terry, don't watch enough YouTube streams these days, but sad this is your last one. First found you via the Tron Lightcycle, and then had to find one. Yeah, maybe that was you that said that last stream too. Or else I've just got multiple people that were inspired to buy the Tron Lightcycle, which is over there, freshly cleaned. Can't remember why. Kanan P. I am new to collecting, was highly recommended to your channel for posting tutorials. It's unfortunate, but happy retirement. The videos will still be there, bro. You can still access all the videos and watch them to your heart's content. I'm not taking the channel down. That's just... That would almost seem like melodramatic. So no, that's going to stay there. As long as people are finding value and visiting the channel and watching the videos, as long as I'm not getting like rubbish comments in there and whatnot, because I'm still going to get... I'm sure I'm still going to get alerts about comments and whatnot, but I don't want to... Yeah, yeah. I don't want to take it down. It can stay up there. I'm just not going to add anything to it. Why not hang out like this, just chatting about collectibles in life? You don't need to show something new to share with it. Again, going back to what I said earlier, you might have missed it. But the biggest reason for me doing this is because of the time that it takes to set up the lights, to get everything ready to go. And then by the time I do the 2-hour live stream and tear everything down and get my room back to normal, half of my Saturday is gone, which is a quarter of my weekend. So I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my life. And because it is collectibles focus, this conversation that we have here, that's the part that draws us all together. I do collectibles professionally now, at least 40 hours a week. And then to come here and do it again, plus all the collectible stuff that I do in my free time, it has become all-encompassing. And it became my life to the point that something needs to change. And I do want to keep working for Sideshow. I enjoy it. When I'm not stressed out and I'm not burdened by the lack of bandwidth that I have remaining because I spend so much time with collectibles, either here or, you know, in my personal time or in my time at work, I really, really do love that job. I love what I do. So I want to get back to loving it all the time. And I think the best way to do that is to give all this up. Stop adding the stress of spending money on collectibles, because that's what happens these days. When I buy a new collectible, it shows up and I feel stress. The money could have been better spent going into being contributed to my 401k, or, you know, being put into some sort of an index fund, or put into a high yield, even put into a high yield savings account, you know, something like that, just to make me money instead of take my money. So hope that makes it clear. But that's really the bulk of the reason why I'm doing this. The final Saturday morning live stream, so no one can hold the final live stream title against you if you eventually do another one. Maybe. But then I feel like that's, again, just like with just like what I said earlier with the whole notion of me picking so astronomically priced a collectible as the Dark Rider of Mordor as my final collectible to purchase for the in-game. I was legitimately making it impossible for me to finish my in-game. I was enabling the problem. And it had gotten to be a problem. I was buying way too many figures. And I'm done. I just don't want to have that stress in my life anymore. I want to continue to enjoy collectibles and admire them and get paid for doing it, which is, I'm really lucky to be able to do that. And I guess one of my concerns is that if I continue to be overburdened by collectibles in my life, as well as collectibles at work, that it's going to affect my work to the point that they decide they better go another way. I had a rare burger with smoked Gouda for lunch. Who wants to live forever? That's the spirit. It's actually fine, man. Yeah, there was only that one time. I had a new exterminator come from the company that I contract with to keep my bug issue at bay, and they do a remarkable job. The traps are usually pretty bare. You get an occasional house spider or something like that, and I think lately we haven't had a brown recluse in a trap in over a year. And that tells me that I don't have a brown recluse problem. And my exterminators have all said that this house is, in terms of brown recluses, this house is cleaner than any other house in the city of St. Louis that they've been in. So yeah, job well done, guys. We fighting the good fight. But one day this new kid showed up, and he was a little odd. He was an odd duck. And he went downstairs and he disappeared into a closet that I have in the basement, and he came back out and he said, "Oh, found him." And he had a sticky trap with like 20 brown recluses dead in it. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. There's another sticky trap 5 feet that way and another one 10 feet that way, and none of those have brown recluses in it. They're all 20 of them in this entire house are right there. This doesn't make any sense. Sometimes that can happen, but don't worry. I'm going to put some dust down for you. It's going to cost you another 40 bucks or something like that. I'm like, oh, I see what this is. So I asked another guy who came the next quarter to do it about this guy, and he kind of hung his head and he was like, yeah, that guy we call the king of the brown recluses because he always finds brown recluses in every house that he goes into. Dude straight up is keeping brown recluses in sticky traps in his pocket of his coveralls and pulling them out and claiming that to the tenant, the homeowner, that he found those in his house. Shady as hell. I've told them never to send him again. What's this? Oh, that's a great idea. I just love to imagine this stuff after I'm dead and gone. No, because the Postmaster General title is one that was granted to me as the Postmaster General of Sideshow. So as long as I work for Sideshow, that's still going to be a thing. It started out as Master Poser, which is a name that was given to me by, what's her name? That gal that used to work for Sideshow and then doesn't anymore. Not Amy, she's still there. She's awesome. Susan. Yeah, Susan gave me that name during a live stream I think that we did together, and I never liked it. First of all, it just, every time somebody said it, I thought they were about to say masturbator, and then I felt like I was being associated with masturbation, which is not a terrible thing to be associated with, but also not a great thing to be associated with. So, I don't know, I didn't want Master Poser, because I'm better at the English language than Susan is. I just decided we should do Postmaster General. And that stuck. Thanks for the great stream, Jerry. You're truly one of those few YouTubers that don't have to pretend. Thanks, that's really, you know, I pick up on that. I pick up on that. That's a kind comment. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Got to go out now? Okay, Mandy. That's fine. It's getting late. You have fun. That's, yeah, it's got to be evening time there, right? Thank you for all you've done and for the inspiration. That's, yeah, thank you. I'm glad that I inspired. I hope to get you on Facebook. Take care and peace. Yeah, you'll see me on Facebook. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. Gotta go. It's been real. I'm gonna miss you. Good luck. Yeah. Yeah. I hope not. But thank you for the spirit of the comment. Terry said he's ending his live stream, but he didn't say he wouldn't participate in joining other people's live streams. That's accurate. That's accurate. If there's some kind of a topic of conversation that I think is something that I want to engage in, then yeah, I can be convinced into joining somebody else's live stream. That's fair game. I have to be selective about which live streams that I go on. We used to have somebody who would have to approve appearances on live streams for us, but now we're being asked to police ourselves. So if your live stream features things that are forbidden, among those custom figure discussion, third-party figure discussion, any of that stuff, then I can't appear on your live stream if that's part of your channel, which really severely limits the number of live streams that I can appear on. I might have missed this too coming in as late, but are you open to guest spots in other streamer streams? Yeah, that's the same question I just covered, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, you guys must have, yeah, you guys made that comment at the same time. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Been traveling overseas more. There you go. See, that's the dream. That's the dream. Yeah. I take Terry at his word that he doesn't plan to do more lives, but I also know if he wants to, that's his call. Like the who we're about. Yeah. What is it? The new Spinal Tap movie just dropped, and it's called The End Continues. I never do. I think that movie actually sparked my own arachnophobia. What's up, Doc? Good to see you. I'm getting really hungry here. So he said no more live streams. It doesn't mean he won't be uploading any videos. Yes, it does. There will be no more videos. Those will be on Sideshow. Exactly so. All right, everybody's ready to head out. Cool. Let's get ahead and see if I can't get this Batman figure on here. What do I need for shoes? By the way, that Black Widow figure has the sweet, sweet magnetic base option that I've seen in other figures before. But it works exceptionally well on this one. I'm really, really loving that. Let's see. Okay, so let's just try to get him on the bike. Are these bike hands? They are. I've forgotten about these. The 2-finger brake lever hands. And so if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need this, which is magnetized, so I need to keep it away from my computer. And I'm going to need... Yeah. That's not the portrait. Where's the feckin' portrait? Oops. Okay, hold on. There you are, young man. Okay. Now, before I do any eye stuff... eye stuff. Before I do any eye stuff, which I'll need to do if I succeed in pulling this off, let's take this one. He's gonna be... I think it'd be more fun to have him in mid-turn. I was gonna set it up right so that he's just like racing down the road in it, but I think it would be more fun to showcase the bike in mid-turn. And would also, that occurs to me, get rid of Bitter Troll's comment. No, there won't be, dude. I'm doing away with all that. I'm kind of drawing back, becoming a little bit more private as well. Yeah, I'm not... At this point, I mean, I'm not even accepting any friend invites on Facebook. If I'm accepting any friend invites on Facebook, it's from people that I actually know in the real world. And that's just, I don't know, it's just kind of trying to draw back. I mean, if I could lock my Facebook profile, I would. I love that you Europeans can do that. It's such a great gift that your political people have done for you. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to... Yeah. I mean, if I'm not going to be doing anything collectibles oriented for the foreseeable future. So there's really no need. I don't really see any need for it. And the whole reason I got into social media in the first place was it was such an ideal place to catch up with friends that I'd lost track of. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm being weird. I'm probably being weird. What do I mean, maybe? But, do y'all really think I ought to switch this cape out? We'll see. We'll see. I can always change it. Gotta put this neck piece back in. I've had some bad experiences on Facebook with collectibles-related friends who were toxic. So I kind of want to have boundaries set up. And I recognize that I'm going to probably miss out on a lot of friendly opportunities. But some of those situations got ugly and were detrimental to other social things. Most recent one would have been only like a couple of years ago. And without naming any names, I don't want to run the risk of that happening again. There we go. That is not a very effective ball joint. Okay. No need for the head. Let's swap the gloves. I know I've slowed down on some of my collectibles, but I'm still behind, not so much. Yeah, well, I've got to, as with cigarette smoking and all other things addiction oriented, I find that the best thing for me to do is to go cold turkey. If I leave even a crack open in the window, it's just so much easier to just reach in and just pull it all the way up, open again. As opposed to if I shut it all the way and triple lock it. So, yeah, the best thing for me to do in order to make sure that I follow up on this is to just end it entirely. Now, that being said, I'm still getting that freaking Jar Jar Binks. And there are one or two others that that I have long-term goals for. Like, I really want to get Stacey Teen when it comes out still. The Jedi. I'm going to get those Jedi. And I'm sure they're going to do Kiadi Mundi next. I'm almost positive. I don't have any insider information on that, but it just makes sense. And I just love that character so much. And so I'll probably get those, but I reserve the right to change my mind. You know, that might very well be proverbially leaving the proverbial crack open in the window. Oh God, that's right. These damn pouches like to come off. You know, I feel like it's suggested in the instructions, and I could prove it if only I felt the urge to get the instructions open. But I feel like it actually said in the instructions, suggested in the instructions, that you should take the pouches off the belt because of this very thing. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's happened before. Wow, that's top heavy. Okay. Did I not have it on there right? No, it's on there right. Kind of feels like it's going to be difficult to do that. Oh, well, this... Yeah. I'm starting to remember why I had to hide the fact that his butt was up off of the seat. Fuck, what just broke? Ah, that's fine. Batarang bopped off. Put that back on later. That's the... I don't know if you guys have... If I've ever said this, or if... I probably have. I say a lot. But, if you're struggling with a piece that keeps popping off, or if even the first time that it actually does pop off, best bet is just to leave it popped off and then put it back on when you're done with the pose. Why mess with having to pick it up again and again and again? We've all seen me get frustrated doing that. Oh, this is just nonsense. Seriously? Yeah, this isn't even going to come close, is it? Has anybody ever been able to put this figure all the way on the bike? Speak up. Interesting. Let's see. Do you ever see not getting any future must-have figures? I think I just answered that. I didn't realize you'd actually ask it. While you have the fortitude to resist, I'm guessing only time will tell, plus only you know your own self-determination. Yeah, it's, you know, again, I'm really forcing this thing here. I hope I don't break this figure. But, Well, what the hell? It was free. I can always sell the bike. Again, like the past few times that I've ordered a group of figures, I dropped like $1,000 on figures relatively recently, like a month or so ago. And then they all went down to the basement, and when they got here, I was just, again, I almost resented them. I was just like, why did I do that? I didn't need any of these. So the more often that happens, the more likely I am to just be like, all right, fuck it. This is not something that I need to be doing. I don't need to be giving myself this stress. And so yeah, I hope that answers your question. But yeah, I just don't know. They're looking at the list. I've still got the list of figures up here that I had pre-ordered. And let's see. I haven't deleted that yet. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at Google Chrome. All that stuff is on, there we go. But yeah, like Ahsoka Tano, Chopper, the Imperial Disguise version, Harrison Duelist, Shin Hati, Ahsoka Tano Padawan, all that's canceled. Arc Trooper 5s I still have on hold. Anakin Skywalker, Clone Wars, no way. Echo, still got it. Sidious, no. Grievous, yeah, maybe. I don't know. As cool as it would be, I just don't know that it's a must. I mean, I've gone this long without having a Grievous on display, but who knows. Savaggio Press I will be getting. Plo Koon I will be getting. Commander Wolf and the Clone Troopers, I've got the Sideshow versions downstairs and they're perfectly adequate. And they're not on display. So why do I need to buy more? So those are canceled. Moon Knight Artisan Edition, that might be hard to let go, but I think I can probably let it go. Artisan Obi-Wan I will be getting because that will round out the collection of episode 2 figures that I picked up. Darth Nihilus I'm going to cancel. Jar Jar I'm going to keep. Life-size Grogu, it could go either way. Chewbacca is going to be canceled. Saesee Tiin is going to be kept. So there's still a handful that I'm planning on keeping. But maybe I need to revisit that because now that I look at that, I realize just how many that they're still coming down the pipe in the next 6 months alone. That's a lot. That's a lot. Oh, I know what I've got to do here. Yeah. All right. Got to use physics. My hope is that by actually getting his hands onto the handlebars, that I'll be able to, they will grip the handlebars in such a way that it will force the figure to stay on the saddle. And that's already not going to be a thing, but I'm going to try it anyway. This makes me so nervous every time I'm messing with these delicate handlebars. Even more so now that it's my own figure. I have an idea. Come here, you. Can't believe we're still live. Does YouTube have a limit? Are they going to be like, hey, man. Maybe these aren't meant to be handlebar hands. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't think of this. I mean, I do it all the time with guns. These are not handlebar grips. They look like it, for those of you who ride motorcycles, don't they? But these don't fit. I mean, if that's what they're supposed to be, then they're flawed. They're seriously flawed. Unless they're trying to get that thumb to sit on the dimmer switch and on the ignition switch. Wow, this is taking... See, this is another reason why I'm ready to quit. Because I'm tired of messing with this shit in my free time. Yeah, I'm calling it. This is officially not meant to be a hand for the handlebars. Need just regular old gripping hands. What'd I do with them? Ah, there. Well, we wasted that 20 minutes. See how that went? I was like, yeah, no. Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right. Man, that's not working either. Okay. There we go. On and honor. That sounded so much different in my head. Yeah, come on. No, don't do that. Okay. Kick you out. Yeah, I think that if playing with your, doing your hobby stresses you out, that's probably also another indicator that it's time to move on. And playing with my hobby is definitely stressing me out. I'm gonna keep thinking about all the other things I could be doing right now. Cleaning up that living room. It is a hot mess. Fuck. I may give this up. I may say screw it. I don't even think it's gonna be worth it when it gets done. Look how far out of the saddle his butt is. That's legitimately as close as I can get. And I haven't even really made the connection point with his hands yet. So this is not something... I remember thinking this before, and I probably should have thought about that before now, but this is not something that you can do with your Batman figure. You cannot have him sitting flush on the saddle. And that's fine, I guess. A bug guy trying to pull a scam on you was a slip and shimmy. Nice. Yeah, well, apparently that's not going to happen. I hope that that's not the. Hope that's not a determining factor in whether or not I'm going to be able to make this work. So let me see what I can do with this. Like if I can just. Fist. 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 Yeah. Okay, we're fisting. Shout out to Guy Klender on my last stream. He was so embarrassed. Oh, God. Yeah, that was a moment. Sam being like, oh my God. Oh, God. So many fun times on Unsealed and Revealed. Brought to an end by multiple things, not the least of which was a lack of imagination. So, get that off. So this is kind of going to be like the pose that I have. No, it's different. It's similar to the post that I have Spider-Man 2099 in on that YEAAAAAHHH Kusanagi bike that we were talking about earlier. But it's still kind of different enough that I won't feel awkward, and this will probably be in different parts of the house anyway. Alright, cool. I actually have no idea which side of this it goes on. That is some dirty guitar, am I right? Jesus. Man. Plop. I actually have a photograph of me in this position on my Ducati. I should really frame it and hang it by this setup here that I've got going on. So that's fun. Getting there. Now I just need to figure out which... Okay, they are meant to be... Yeah. They are bar end mirrors. Meant to go like this. There we go. Let's do some eye stuff. Check that. Oh, that's... Yeah, that's all kinds of wonky. Try it now. That's got it. Okay, last touch. If I can find it. Voila. Super light cape. Combo with super light cape and those wires really makes it awesomely posable. Yeah, I dig it. That way when you turn it you can see a little tail light still. So you can imagine these kind of either mounting up, mounting off, or just chilling. Looking menacing. I feel like it needs a little bit of something here though. Do that with that, a little bit of this. Have to get an arm bend in there. Twist that so the fist looks more natural, but also so that you get the arrows, the bolts, whatever they are. Yeah, that works. So there are other things that I can add to it at some point, but for now, I'm good with that. Does he look like he's leaning back too much? Not from that angle he does, but from here he looks all right. Yeah, there's something about that camera angle that makes it look really weird, but from all angles in person, it looks fine. All right, cool. So let's slide him over a little bit. Get me back up here and let's wrap up this stream. with a few more comments. This hat's really gonna need some breaking in time. All right. This isn't calling anyone out because I'm guilty of it too, but I actually find it heartfelt that so many people are trying to find out. Yeah, appreciated. Appreciated. Not unexpected, because I did get the sense that throughout this whole thing, this whole experiment, that's actually much better to have it at that angle. I should have been doing my figures up this high all the time. Idiota. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, I'm touched by it. I'm accepting that. I'm accepting those attempts in the spirit in which they're given. I'm not bothered by it at all. Do I want to have this hand down? Maybe. Have that thing, having it a little bit more away from his body kind of implies a little bit of action too, that and a little bit of intent. Not action, but intent for action. Great looking figure, isn't it? God. It's mark of the community that's been built up here, but I applaud him for doing what he needs to do for himself. Well, thank you, man. That's great to hear. Pop question. Why did Terry start this live stream? A, to showcase his collection. B, to talk about work. C, to pass the time while his hair was drying. Who knows the answer to that? I mean, I do. And it may not be what you expect. It may not be what you expect. Yeah, it was legitimately C. I mean, that takes me back. I hadn't forgotten it, but I hadn't thought about it in a while. But yeah, it's I don't know, maybe I want this hanging down. It kind of shows off a little bit more of the bike, right? I have to fold this under. Yeah, this is fun. There we go. Yeah. Kind of more natural that way, right? Yeah. Again, like as with all poses, I reserve the right to tweak this for over the course of hours or days or even weeks until I get it where I really, really, really want it. Another feeling, I had 6 figures delivered in the last 2 weeks. I've opened 4 of them so far, but I'm savoring each one. Don't want to rush. Yeah, that's something. That is a thing too. That is the thing too. And again, I open so many figures every week. It's just, it's getting kind of ridiculous. And I'm getting really self-conscious about this hat. I'm picking up asymmetry. Anyway. I have 3 figures, 12 scale, not Hot Toys, coming to my mailbox on Monday. Didn't plan it that way. Yeah, that's usually how it goes, bro. And the tariffs have made things so damned unpredictable. I can sense that there is concern, and rightly so, about, yeah, I don't want to get into it. I don't even want to get into it. Right now, yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah, before then. I have to figure out what to do with this other pouch. I guess just put it in the box and forget about it. Yeah. Thank you, Lazy Cat. Got my Batman next to the bike. I just wanted to see if you could do it. Ha! Yeah, no, it's impossible. If anybody knows of anyone who has pulled it off, then please let me know, because I would love to know how it was done. And I'm guessing the only way to do it is to modify the figure. But it's, you know, it's fine. It's totally fine. I would love to have it. I would love to have it riding the bike, but it's not necessarily. It's not necessary. I can totally set up the Bale Batman riding on the Bat Pod, and it has the same effect. It's fine. More is the pity, yes. Oh, you're just now getting here? Yeah, I missed you, Beskar. You were a lot of fun. Thanks a lot for helping me out with that one thing, you know, with the guy in the place. Now in my place. Sounds very much like a steel top. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on here with this playlist. I'm really digging it. You're right. Dismounting is definitely the term. I was trying to play with words, and usually I'm successful with that. Sometimes not so successful. Oh, thanks, man. Very cool. Again, I just feel like I'm doing one thing. Like it needs to be exaggerated a little bit. There's an exaggerated quality to a pose directed by Sideshow's creative director, Tom Gilliland. I'm not sure if that's still his name. His title, rather. I'm sure it's still his name. And I'm kind of trying to achieve something like that here. And I don't know why, because by now I should have my own style. I shouldn't be leaning on the leaning on that. Speaking of leaning, okay, there we go. Well, that's not good. There we go. The foot peg was stealing my joy. Wait. That way? Yeah, that's how it should be. Yeah, okay. Again, I'm probably going to adjust this over years. Probably ought to wrap this up. It's going on 3 hours. Longest stream ever. That's not true. The JP Mavinga stream was the longest stream ever for me. Really wish we had a black cowboy hat like Terry does. Oh, he had. I'm like, yeah, alright. Well, get yourself one, but okay. That movie is so great. I may put that on the background while I'm doing work today. That's a new thing I'm doing. Having movies on in the background instead of podcasts. 27 months. Man. Right on, Dud. Dude. Dud. Yeah. Hey, Jordan Skinner. This is it is explained why in the beginning of stream I just jumped on. It is explained a couple of times throughout the course of the stream. More in depth at about the 2-hour mark or something like that, or somewhere in there. But yeah, it's and this is a long stream, so I'd hate to have to make anybody fidget through it. Maybe I'll mark it. I'll find it and create a timestamp after the video, after I end the stream, so that people can go to it and find it. I feel like the second time I probably summated it a little bit more. Ugh, don't tempt me, Frodo. Took me a minute to quit smoking this time around, so definitely a reason not to pick it up again. I got Darth Sidious coming this week. Can I wait for him? Yeah, cool, man. Good for you. It's a great figure. Creepy, creepy portrait. You had this Batman riding on the Batcycle. Was his butt all the way down on the Batcycle while holding onto the handlebars? You did that? You pulled that off. You did that. I want to see photographic evidence, man. Send me a photo. Because I would love to know what I'm missing, what I'm doing wrong. I want to say that even the blogger photos didn't feature him all the way down in the saddle. See you, Rune. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. That's kind of what I did in the video as well. I did shit with a Dark Empire, Luke Henderson, hair fell out and such. Oh, yeah. How to set the inner collar material as you're putting the sculpt onto the body. I've completely forgotten. I don't have it here anymore, so I can't really say. Yeah, sorry for that. That sucks. I just went to Epidemic Sound and did a search for, let's see, I can't remember exactly what it was. Classic blues. And all this music popped up. I just wanted to change. Yeah, I didn't want to go out with the same music. Tear it off the black. It really does look good. It's a great, great figure. I had more fun with that figure than I've had with a figure in a very long time. And then I followed it up immediately with Black Widow, which was another fun figure. Still not sold on woolen hair. Still not sold on woolen hair. I'm so not sold on woolen hair that my Artisan Anakin remains here unboxed. So, yeah. Anyway, so, I really hate this pose. I feel like I need to do this. And it defies all my posing knowledge to do it. I'm just gonna bend this up, rotate this back, and yeah, do that. And that's done it. That's what it needed. I was rotating the torso the wrong way. I sometimes do that. I do it so often that it's embarrassing, but probably not so often that people notice that it's a problem. Yeah. That is so much cooler. That was the problem. That was what I hated about it. Interesting. I feel like he's leaning a little much. Yeah, cycles take a lot of fidgeting to get it right. But what do you think? Is that better? I feel like that's so much better. All right, nailed it. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Later, Gator says, wow, is that a Gathian Spy's first comment? Then he's just going to say later, Gator? After a while, Crocodile. Oh, we'll see. Yeah, it's you never know. A lot of factors go into deciding what I do and what I don't do. A lot of it has to do with availability of Guy Klender to do the ones out there. It's going into winter, so he's not going to be working his other job, which is kind of dependent on warm weather. So he'll have a lot more availability. Yeah, you'll always have the other Batman. You'll always have the Schumacher films. There you go. And the not just Schumacher, but also the Danny. Fuck. You know the ones. The Bat Crotch Rocket. Man of Tomorrow. The irony in you realizing you should have been posing your figures higher on your final live stream. Yeah, right? Yeah. There's just something about it that's not right. Maybe I should look at the Sideshow premium format figure for inspiration. I don't know, but anyway. Thank you, Desmond. Yeah, man. Who knows? I could be out there at some point. I am heading out there soon. For a few days. Just for giggles and grins. That's the spirit, my friend. Danny Elfman, that's it. Tim Burton directed it, that's it. But Bob Ringwood did the costume. Thank you. All right, guys, that's it. I'm done. That's it. I'm literally done. No more of this nonsense of me futzing with my hat. Because it's clearly asymmetrical, and that's going to bug me immensely. I'm going to have to go to a professional and have it reshaped. Yeah, but it's been fun. I've had a lot of fun. I'm grateful to you all for like joining me for this for all these years. It's you've really brought you brought a light to me during some dark times. Those dark times seem to be over, and it's time to move on and do other things. Yeah, I hope you guys all find ways to stay in contact with each other and you know, continue your own dialogues. Afraid that you'll have to do it without me, though. It's just the way of the force. Yeah, time to move on. Enjoy your lives. Enjoy each other whenever you can. And until we meet again, be good to your plastic. Goodbye.